What do you mean? Trying again. There it goes. You have to do it twice with Twitch, apparently. Do a little refresh on that. Your video is canceled. Please try again. No, it's actually on. Try again. What do you mean? Hold on. It wasn't canceled. Stand by. I'm trying to figure something out. Trying again. There it goes. Just takes a second. Wink. Just takes a second. All right. Now I just gotta find my spot here. Oh boy. Okay. Funny.
The ancient art of ball blasting, widely accepted by archaeologists as the first discipline of martial arts, its roots trace back to the genesis of our species and to the very beginning of time itself, and it is still practiced to this day by Shaolin monks and those that just want to smash their nuts with 2x4s. Bruce Lee famously once said, "Fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks one time. Fear the man that has clobbered his wiener 10,000 times." Here you can see one of the many connoisseurs of titanium testicle training preparing what's known in the business as Thomas the Testicle Tank Torpedo. It was invented by Alexander Graham Bell during the early 1900s with the sole purpose of strengthening a male's bag of man mangoes. I know many of you are thinking of making a Duke Nukem Balls of Steel joke, but save it. These men have heard it 100 times. There's no trick photography here, no smoke and mirrors. This is real shit. He is actually getting his penis titties clobbered right now by this fucking medieval contraption. Modern science can't explain how they're able to pull off this superhuman feat, so your guess is as good as any. Maybe they suck their nuts up to their nipples to avoid the impact. Maybe they inject their testicles with iron. Or maybe Facebook soccer mom Ruth Pattyvases is onto something when she says aliens replaced their original testicles with stronger testicles. No one knows for sure. All I can say is that this is what I imagine Comcast's employees do daily. Regardless of the explanation, the fact remains that this discipline of martial arts will make you go nuts. That's another joke I'm sure these martial artists have heard before. I'm sure they're used to having their balls busted.
Hey, what's up? Oh, good times. Good times. All right. Well, you've seen the makeover. We did a little makeover today. We have retired the old logo, at least for now, in place of something that's a little bit more fun. And in case you didn't remember or you don't know, and this has actually been picking up some steam, so this is great. SemperFryLLC.com is my website. Can you hear me okay? I feel a little weird in the headphone piece here. I don't know what's up. Let me know if it's coming over good. I accidentally clicked something on the audio input capture device, thinking I was adjusting something else, so maybe I need to do something about that. I don't know. But you can tell me in the comments. That's my website. And this is the code. Paratus. What the hell's that? It's Latin. What the hell's that? It's a dead language. What the hell's that? It means always prepared. Well, semper paratus means always prepared or always ready. Paratus just means ready or prepared. And that's the U.S. Coast Guard motto. It's also, the core values are honor, integrity, and devotion to duty. Like, not the kind that you sit down and do, but, you know, duty as an obligation or your purpose and responsibility. Not the one that's done on the toilet. Anyway, there you go. I'm devoted to both, actually. I can't really do much without either. Okay, Paratus for 15% off the website. Go check it out. I've got to order some more caps for the 12 ounces, but they should be coming like super quick. I got a bunch of orders already ready to go. Rebecca started doing her thing on them. She does the labeling and the shrink banding and all that stuff. So it's coming along well. All right. So there we go. That took a second there. Let's take a look at the chat because everybody's already in. Is everybody in? Sounds good? Cool. Thanks. I had to move my head to read. Let's see. Let's go into this one. Says, I did a great video. Man mangoes. Yep. Oh my god, I'm dying. Ahoy, mateys, says Edward Snowman. Hello, Edward Snowman. How are you tonight, sir? First fire, 508. Thank you. Love the new picture, she says, Karen. Thank you. And perfect. All right, good. Thanks. Whoa, there's some ball-busting monks. Yep. I caught that earlier today because I was looking over worst online or internet martial arts advice or whatever it was from it was a whole compilation from Penguin Zero or Moist Critical Charlie. I think his last name is White. Charlie White. Something like that. So anyway, yeah, I caught that and I was like, wait a minute, he even says ball busting? I gotta have it. And then I came up with all the other stuff to go along with it and made a new intro and a whole bunch of new graphics. I think it looks great. I wonder if that affects their sperm count. I would imagine they have maybe bigger problems like, testicular cancer to concern themselves with. High impact. Karen says their sperm has also been trained to hide for preservation. That's good. Let's see what we got over on the twits. Besides someone trying to, yo, bro, just wanted to show some real love for your stream because you've generally got crazy potential. Really? My first video didn't even stay here because I didn't know you had to twist, throw a toggle for it to save in the VOD, video on demand. So yeah, this is the first one that'll hopefully stick. And yeah, there you go. Oh, has over 3 million followers because of your crazy advice. This is like babbling forever. Discord. I don't do Discord. So if Discord is required for Twitch success, looks like I won't be very successful on Twitch. Let's see. And then kicking it over on Kick. And then Kick. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I forgot to do this thing. Let's do that. That might actually still be on, I think. Let's copy and drop this in real quick and we'll pin it. You can just move it out of your way. So it's when I hit pin, you see a little eyeball thing. After you've clicked it and, done the thing that is awesome, then you can click it out of the way. UFO is declassified. I don't care about that. Oh, did I not change the... No. Wait a minute. I changed the... you know what? Those punks. Yeah, it's different here. It says there's more behind the Tate brothers' arrest than first appears on the surface. How come it didn't transfer that? It transferred the old stuff. Did you see how the... Maybe I have to refresh or something. Hold on. I've already read all your comments. Let me just do a refresh real quick. No, it screwed it up. It says this is the old stuff here. So it says the Mogfather. That was from yesterday. But the one that I had just typed, and you can actually see it on here, so I'm not sure why I didn't transfer. There's more behind the Tate brothers' arrest than first appears on the surface. It was a short one, so I had to say it that night. Usually it's, me exercising my love for writing, and I say a little bit more than that, but come on. There it goes. All right. So there's a lot to go through, and I think we should kind of do it starting with... That's probably a good place to start. Is not that Reddit 2 tried one, but Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate arrested in Miami on UK charges. Then we have live Andrew Tate. Tristan Tate will fight extradition. The moment Andrew and Tristan Tate arrested in Miami. This was the actual video. That one's a different one for later. Explosive diarrhea. I just wanted to figure out what that is, so I just put it up there so I could find it. Ryan Gable and I were talking. Well, he posted something and then replied back to my comment on it, and it was kind of eerily like foreshadowing of what just transpired. So I think that's kind of interesting. We'll add that to it. I gotta do this too. Oh, so apparently, so here's what I thought. Because it makes sense to think this way. And I know gamers out there would be like, "You dumbass," but no, maybe not. I don't know. Where is it at? Jesus, this is deep. It says why 4 slots is worse for DDR5. Yeah, and then it told me a bunch of stuff that was not true. And I said, why the fuck does it make it 4 slots if it's so much of a bitch to handle the load? Like, why is it too much of a bitch, the MOBO, the motherboard, to handle the load then? It says, besides, I'm using it for video editing and content creating, so what's the problem with using my setup of 4x32 DDR5 5600 megahertz on a Rogue Strix Z790E? I did a ton of research on this and asked you as well prior to choosing my build parts in October 2024. This was the best setup according to my research. Says, I completely understand your frustration. I apologize if my previous response contradicted your earlier. It did, yeah. And it says you're perfect for what you're doing it for. Like, okay, thanks. So I had to yell at you and tell you you're wrong before you agreed that it was true, that it was wrong. So you don't still know what's right. But apparently it can be downgraded to like a 42 or 4800 megahertz when you have 128 gigs of it. So I have to go in my BIOS now later on. I think I wrote it down. What I need to do. I have to. If anybody else is not aware of this might be useful for them. So I have to restart the computers. Hit the delete button or the F2 key a bunch of times, and then in my BIOS do easy mode, the XMP setting, left side menu, AI overclock tuner, and then select the profile from disable to XMP1, save, exit, F10 to click OK, and then it should be back to 5600 megahertz. And apparently that won't overheat the thing and it's not going to burn out anything by making it do what it's supposed to do. So that might make overall, might improve the streams and all that stuff too. So that's not something I knew, but I'm glad I know now. Yeah, and I think it went into like 4200 or 48 maybe, but I can bring it back up to 56. That's cool. So every once in a while, this AI stuff is useful, except you have to like be smarter than it, basically first, so that every time it tells you something that's not true, you question it, and then it's like, oh yeah. That was the answer for the plebs. So, you know more. Let me explain why I was trying to lie to you in the first place, and you should totally not trust me any further now. But it's whatever. Okay, you guys are talking to each other. Now let's get into... Hey, stop moving! Stop moving! There you go. Why did it do that? So I have... It's a hard to think of where to start. Then there's also this Instagram. And this Instagram is very telling of why and how and all this stuff came together. So yeah, let's start with the Ryan Gable stuff, because I think maybe that's probably the best place to do it. So he says it was always staged. Of course it was. Why were all these guys getting together in the first place? All these alphas and, white nationalists or Christian nationalists or whatever. Everything they're trying to paint as being a domestic terrorist and anti-Semitic, right? Anti-semicolon. Anti-septic, as some people say. And the Niggy over here, Niggy says, and it says Griper. Oh boy. This video is so sad now. And I said, and he says it was always staged. Thank you very much, Edward Snowman. You're the man. And then I said, yes, it was always staged by their Oy vey managers. The fact they all came together wasn't even organic. They were clustered together by their managers, but also the perception managers. To be alpha became synonymous with being Nazi or a Hitler lover Nothing wrong with that, actually. Overnight. It was a frame job, I said. To which he said, I didn't even consider the alpha equals Nazi motif in this specific instance, but good catch. Okay. That was the 19th. So happening around the same time with everything else. But yeah, here we go. Let's have a little watch.
They don't understand the things I say on Twitter. Nigga, how Hitler? They don't understand the things
Fucking Myron.
all my niggas Nazis, nigga.
He, I think he has a contract with Pepto-Bismol or Necco wafers. Can't tell which one. Do you know how many salmon had to die in order to make that suit? Probably none. So that's a good place to start. And Ryan Gable's the man, by the way. If you don't know who Ryan Gable is, how the hell you know who I am? He's smart. He's like more popular than me. He's been around for like ever. But Ryan Gable is the Secret Teachings radio and YouTube and all those good things. You should go over there and, stalk him in a good way. Like, follow all his stuff. Stalk me while you're at it too and follow all my stuff. Okay. Moving on. So now we got that established. That they're putting all this stuff together. And they're making, obviously, for the low, either people who don't have time to look into things and they're busy with putting their fingers in all the holes in their economic bowl in order for their family to stay afloat. And they just don't have time. And this is of a lesser importance to them. But what they're doing and revving up for, in my, I think it's more than an opinion. I think it's more of it's just reading the tea leaves and seeing what is actually happening. And of course, with Ben Shapiro's comments, it makes it even more obvious that putting these guys together, it was a good way to cluster all these different genres of the people that they've already demonized. Nick Fuentes being one of the major ones. The Tate brothers already have gone through a whole bunch of accusations, charges, and were deemed not guilty. They beat all the charges before. You can say whatever you want about them running like their own, basically like OF crap and making money that way. Obviously, yes, that's exploitation. We get it. But that's different from 2010 to 2017 just being prolific, rapists. I don't think that's organic. But I see where it fits, and it doesn't necessarily even mean that the Tate brothers are not in on it. We don't know where people go when they go into a building. We don't know if they stay there. We don't know any of that. It'd be very easy for this stuff to just be a fluid thing for your perception. And I'm not saying that any of that stuff is true. I'm just saying that we don't know, right? In one door, out the back door type of deal. Instead of having to take it in the back door while you're sitting around waiting for your court date. What? Ollie? Oh, you know what? I bet you they're home. Ollie's probably tweaking out. My dog. Oh, so I made chicken tonight. It wasn't supposed to sound like a song. I feel like chicken. All right, Ollie. God damn it. Hold on. I'm kind of busy here. Jesus Christ, I'm going to have to set him outside. Hold on. Let's watch this. Ollie, fuck off. All right. So let's watch this part.
These guys, because a lot of people don't like them because they're not nicety on Instagram, YouTube, and so on. They've already been canceled off half these platforms. Where is our justice? This is the slap in your face, and you don't even know it. Coach Greg, in today's video, breaking news, the Tates, both Tristan and Andrew Tate, have been arrested. And so with the BBC, you perhaps have seen altercations between the BBC and Andrew Tate, calling them out for misrepresenting things, to not doing everything correctly. Well, the title, it reads as follows: Tate brothers arrested in U.S. as further UK charges take the total to 59. They now have accumulated 59 separate charges. They've been arrested. They are being requested to be extradited to 2 various countries. And it seems all these countries want Andrew Tate. They want to be able to say, we got this man. He's a bad man. He's a misogynist. Look at all these charges. I mean, eating grapes all these times.
And obviously, regardless if you're innocent or guilty, once you're being accused of that, the court of public opinion has already made their decision. And the way people handle it in the press. And every time I went for a news, I wasn't even trying to find news. I was just trying to find a clip of the footage of them being arrested. And it kept on sending me to news channels on YouTube. And usually after a while, when you're watching certain channels, if that channel covers something, it would be the first thing to pop up. You know, like if John Bravo already did a video on it, or if, Coach Greg here already did a video on it, and I look for Andrew Tate, or I look for, Miami arrest or whatever, it would send me the stuff that I've already been known to watch. But all it did is send me a bunch of newscast clips, and every single one of them, and I don't think this was by accident, was a black guy as the news anchor who was handling the story. And given the whole what do you call it? Nigger Heil Hitler's thing. Don't you not think that that's kind of on purpose because they're still trying to paint it? The black guy saying something bad about these people, therefore you must. You know what I mean? It's like embedding the idea that they did something wrong even deeper. And I don't think that's by accident.
Both of them. Look at all the terrible things they've done in their past. I don't even want to list out the charges, as the video perhaps might get demonetized. But you all not remember that these brothers have already spent a significant amount of time in jail, over 3 months. During that time, they were charged with everything. I mean, throw at them the kitchen sink. Everyone was saying, bravo, claps. They are bad people because they...
And that's exactly what some douchebags on Instagram were doing. They were already, again, the court of public opinion, and this is a trend that I was watching all throughout the short format media and social media, is either they were all given their directive or they're all soft heads on their own. But I think it was more of a coordinated assault to flood all media perception, all influence out there in the negative. These people are already guilty. Like, they can't stay out of trouble. Their past is catching up to them type of motif. But also, hey, look, it's white nationalist, it's Christian nationalist, it's alpha male, a strong male, a good father. These are all bad things. These are all toxic masculinity. And this is what they do to women. They're misogynists, they're this and that, the other thing, and they're rapists. And it just all throws everything together. These are Nazis. So... And then when you hear Ben Shapiro's comments, it just puts it right over the edge. Like, this was a coordinated, and it's not the Tate brothers per se that are the target. It's us. We're the target audience for this, and we're the target that they want to manipulate. In addition to that, how does this not take the heat off of them for all of their horrific judicial crimes when it comes to releasing people back out after doing, I don't know, lighting people on fire, stabbing them in the neck, rape and murder. Oh, but it was a ceremonial dagger. Oh, that makes it way better. It's just all these things that have been a slap in our face. And then you have to throw the Epstein files and, well, what happened to all that? Why was there no investigation there? Why do you have 59 charges on these guys and you have done nothing about the other thing? You flooded the space and then let it go. Got everybody all riled up. Let them know a little bit about the inner workings of what we consider to be government, which isn't, and nothing happened. But here, you focus all on these two guys. Now, whether they did it or not, I don't know. Any of these things, nobody does. Anybody can speculate, but I know you don't convict somebody in your mind like that. And you also, that's not, because that could happen to you. And just finding new people to come out of the woodwork to say, oh, these are bad, they did bad things to me. You know how easy that is to do? All you have to do is prompt. The feds bring people in, and I'm sure this happens in other countries too. And they grill them, they sit them down. They did this with famous musicians, children, like young musicians, to try to do this to Michael Jackson. They did this, and they do this. As long as they can get somebody to say yes, they did something, even if they didn't, they're being coached. Their family, their parents are right there. And it wasn't Bieber, it was the other guy who's dead now too, because he didn't play ball, I guess. They want you to say something so that they can further put the nail in the coffin, at least in the court of public opinion about you. They want you to work with them. So we don't know what's actually going on with them. But I do see it very interesting that their managers, they're, probably managers that are like this at the very tippity top of those, career management companies, or what would you call agencies, that they did this. They clustered everybody together that they wanted to vilify later. And playing that song, Sneeko apparently was the one who chose it, but it was all orchestrated. Because then you can assign that song with that message, which isn't even a bad thing, but it is in the minds of most people who don't know shit about history or anything else, because they're still playing on the falsities that they've already established and convinced you of. They're just going to continue on with that narrative. All that together, it's definitely not organic, obviously, what happened there. And we're just seeing what they're doing to us in the process, and it takes away all the attention. Well, we have somebody to be mad at now. But it's not the same thing as, hey, look at all the people that run your country, or at least they think they do, because they play a role on TV and they wear a suit, in all of their names in all of these files. What happened to that? What happened to the complete travesty and the failure of justice and all these other instances? Why does everybody think they're getting a W here? And why would you want somebody to be guilty of those things? Because we don't like the way they say. I don't like Andrew Tate. I can't stand the guy. I don't like the way he came out against Connor Murphy after he died and said, this is the reason why you don't go to Peru. He never went to Peru. He took ayahuasca in LA at what do you call it? Actually, right down the road, kind of. At what the hell is it? I forgot the name of it. And the name escapes me. I can't. Oh, Joshua Tree, I think it was. There's somewhere around that area. I think that's what it was. But anyway, it wasn't that far away from where I am. It's like Palm Desert area. And he said, this is why you don't take psychedelic drugs. Yeah, because God forbid you expand your mind and be able to see through the bullshit of the spell that is cast upon all of society, the societal cult spell. God forbid you look over that. God forbid you, stop living in a superficial life that was not rewarding to him and see a broader picture of existence and purpose and meaning. You won't know any of that. And if you saw the Connor just a couple weeks before, he didn't seem like he was out of his mind. The syringes were for, there was a specific purpose for those, and it wasn't for drug use. And it's all explained in this 2-hour video that I actually reposted on the Mogging for Change channel. So this is all a bunch of nonsense. We don't know what's what, but everybody, there's people going super freaking, over the top with their excitement. Good, they got him. I hope they rot in hell, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you don't even know what happened. How would you ever validate without any kind of proof the system and this society and this cult of child killers when they say someone's guilty of something and it's very politicized and it's intended to vilify all of people who are strong male influences that are potential leaders who would be resistant to what's coming with the surveillance state prison that we're already in and what they intend to do with us. And I guarantee you a Purim is on its way where they just kill a bunch of people saying that they're domestic terrorists and anti-Semitic and all that crap. Because they're showing themselves pretty strongly now. And these are all the little things that slowly boil the frog. And it's always going to work on the masses of people. They don't target the people who can see through the bullshit. They're not concerned with them because there's not enough of us to really come together and make a difference against this until we decide to, at least. But the majority of the people are just going to, eat whatever they're fed by the feds.
Don't say nice things. They're misogynists and you don't like them, and so throw the book at them. But here's the difference between some of you, not all of you are like this, and Coach Greg. Even if I don't like somebody, I don't want them to be charged and have to go to jail for something they did not do. With the previous case with Andrew Tate and his brother, they had interviewed close to 1,000 individuals. Got any dirt on this guy? Are you sure you can't say that they did this? People even being paid.
That's a good point. And I'm glad he's bringing this up.
To say certain things. After interviewing anyone, millions of dollars were spent on this. They couldn't get enough evidence to convict them. How hard would it be to get enough evidence to convict? My feeling is this. I don't give a shit.
And then you also have that component that they're children of a guy that was in the CIA or adjacent to CIA and doing similar type of work. So how much of this are they actually playing a role in as well? Or how much of this is not going to stick simply because of where they come from? It's like sometimes it makes me wonder: are we taking the bait because we're taking this seriously? Should we be investing our energy and thought into this? Well, in the simple fact that yes, when it comes to what Shapiro's doing, we can see very clearly, especially with the social media stuff that's dropping from all these idiots who have a following just out of nowhere, pop up out of nowhere, have hundreds of thousands of followers, and they have already convicted these people in their minds and have been spewing a bunch of hatred. I don't like to use that word, but there was this one retard, Luke something. He does this thing where he screams like a woman, not like high pitch, but he just does this shaking thing, and he's always like, rah, 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 rah. And I've shown you some of his videos before, but this showed me who he was, and I just sent him a DM fag, and I unfollowed him.
Don't like my opinion. I don't think they're guilty. You can think they're guilty. You can think they're not guilty. And I'm saying this based on logic. Your feelings are hurt when Andrew Tate says that he doesn't like it if you're gay. He doesn't like it if you're fat. He doesn't like this. He doesn't like that. But this is a man
yeah, Dr. Seuss,
who doesn't party. He doesn't use recreational substances. And from what I've seen, he actually cares. Now, is he abrasive? Yes. Is he controversial?
Is he obnoxious? Is he playing a character? Yes, all those things are true too. That's why it's hard to take anybody seriously who's that much of a clown in their persona. And it's really easy to point the finger away when you're giving people like good life coach advice and just laying it all on their shoulders that they're losers and they're weak and they need to. It's like, is that alpha male? Is that what alpha males do? They don't try to guide like a parent would. They have to just like put you like, this is a Wes Watson tactic. He does that because you're weak, because of this, because I know everything. It's like, no, you knew what you knew for what you needed to know and what you needed to do and how to apply it in your life. Doesn't mean it goes across the board. You got to take every situation. And of course, there's a mindset that's kind of universal to certain things as far as your confidence and all that. But if people have that core foundation in their character already, you don't really need to do a whole lot of guiding to set them on the course. You just need to encourage them. You don't need to put them down. Encourage them to be the thing that they already can be, And a lot of his theatrics are kind of ridiculous. So again, how much of this is, you know what I mean? It's like to say he really cares. It's like, cares about what? You know what I mean?
course, the more controversial things that you say, the more you can perhaps get clickbait titles and you poke the bear, the more people talk about you. And they're now one of the most talked about people in the world.
Romania,
And that's a good point too.
we want them. Great Britain would say we want them, and then a judge would
Remember, they told us in the Smith-Munn Modernization Act when they've been doing it forever, but they wanted us to know that everything that you see and read doesn't have to be true, and lots of things can be orchestrated. We're supposed to believe that a guy who is Superman and changes out of clothes and has first a guy who has a bulletproof neck bone and somebody like in a furry, all the shit, right? So right in front of our faces. Would it really be that hard to do any of this other stuff? The main goal, though, is to continue to reinforce that there's bigotry, that there's racism, that there's anti-Semitism, and it's all about the alpha strong male. Got to attack the male. Got to eliminate the father from the family. Got to go after the people who could be potential leaders, and of course the whiny jester Jew had a lot to say about that, and that would be Ben.
have to decide where they end up going. But right now, what they have is they have a case here. The courts here are going to say, hold on, they got to stay here.
Being in Florida in the United States, and considering there's a case here, the United States isn't going to ship them off to some other country. No, we're dealing with him. We've got him. You guys want him, but you can have him when we're done.
Somebody that has gone through 2 federal cases and had to fight and had spent time in jails waiting to go to trial is not going to be a fun experience whatsoever.
They're going to be held in jail. This is worse than prison, a small cell. They've done this in the past.
It's better than being raped in prison, really?
And it's a long path ahead of them. Having to hire lawyers and the process in courts in the United States as well as Canada takes years sometimes. It's annoying. And so unfortunately, even though they have a lot of money, they can't just go out on bail. They can't just say, hey, we'll deal with this later. And so this isn't going to be fun. And my prediction is that eventually all the charges are going to be dropped. They're going to go to court. Perhaps it's going to take 2 years, whatever. And
the ad hominem attacks too of like, oh, it looks like he was, and it is funny because he dresses the way he does with his, capri pants basically. But that's what they let in with the Ben Shapiro thing, which we will watch a little bit of. Unfortunately, it's going to drive you insane if you're a sensible human being. But yeah, they're like, oh yeah, look at his. It looks like he was wearing four sizes too small. And then one of the things was a split, and there was a female. They probably AI'd it, but it was like the same outfit on a woman. And then they showed Tate standing in the same outfit. It's a goofy outfit, but you have money. I guess whatever is expensive you wear because it's a status symbol.
eventually you're going to say, oh, there wasn't enough evidence.
Now they're going to be stuck in some cell, and it's a 6x12 cell. They're going to have limited access to their attorneys, no matter what they tell you that they do. It's going to suck for them.
Can I remind you of something, everyone? Wasn't there something called the Epstein files that was released? I don't know, like some time ago. Wasn't it like a big deal?
Should have been.
Highly influential people, presidents even. Why aren't any of them arrested? Like, has anyone thought of this? Like, what exactly is going on? Andrew Tate says that the Matrix is after him. Does Andrew Tate perhaps know something a little bit more than perhaps you or I? And that for some reason, these charges, they keep on popping up. Whether or not you like or dislike Andrew Tate, imagine if you were in his shoes. Imagine if somebody was charging you of something, perhaps charges that were made up, false charges, and eventually you can get off, but the time it takes leading to that, you're in jail. Even if he gets called innocent, he still loses.
Right.
But what about all the people in the Epstein files? Do we not have enough evidence to charge them and then perhaps do an investigation? Why can't other famous people be arrested?
And if you're not super stupid rich, this will destroy you anyway. And that's kind of the purpose and point. A lot of times they use the process itself as the punishment because it drains you. And then these guys who rub their hands together happen to be, most of the time there's either lawyers or they own the law firms, right? They own the law firms. They can also sometimes be the judges or sitting on the whatever municipality they're being tried in. It's all very convenient for the cult of child killers and vampires. They're vampires too. Did I mention that?
Be placed behind bars while we interview other people to see if what they're saying is true or not. Andrew Tate was already acquitted of several different charges. I don't even know how many. And these current charges, they stem from 2010 to 2017. What, magically, all these charges, they now add up right now? How does it get to 9 charges of eating grapes? Wouldn't it be after 1, someone says something, after 2, 5? Why is it this many years later? Now, of course, if he's guilty of even 1, that's bad. That's all it takes. Then he deserves to be behind bars. But imagine if it was your name and somebody was making up charges because they don't like you. And everyone stood by and said, bravo, we hate you anyway. You deserve it. But what if you're innocent? 0 arrests over the Epstein files, by the way. Ain't Matrix, it's another distraction to the Epstein files. From the history of all these cases, everything has been made up. And I'm not a conspiracy guy or anything like that. I have no dog in the fight. But they keep on popping these fake charges up for these 2 brothers, and every single charge I've had prior had 0 evidence. Or falsified evidence. Why are they after these guys? Like, do you guys understand what actually happened? And so perhaps they're thinking, the more charges we add, the better. If we throw everything at them.
Right. Well, they have to be guilty if there's this many charges. It's not just one person saying something. It's all these people saying something. So just by the sheer volume of these charges, they have to be guilty of something, right? See what they do?
The shotgun effect, like when you approach girls in a bar, you ask every single one out, approach all 50, maybe one of them.
Don't start with the fat ones, okay? Because if they say yes too quickly, then you're like, oh.
A stick. If you charge them with 59 different things, maybe one of them was bad. I'm asking you this. If they interviewed every person that you've ever met in your life and said, is there anything illegal that person has ever done? Do you think that they could find anything that you've done? I for sure would be guilty. If you dig hard enough, if you spend enough millions of dollars, they're going to find something you did that was illegal.
Especially when it's the taxpayers or, the prisoners of this country / prison. It's their money. It's not the Oy vey money. Come on, are you serious?
Been caught speeding, or maybe you got paid for something under the table and you didn't claim it. Did you ever use a substance that isn't 100% legal? If you're in the United States, hey, well, last I checked, testosterone isn't even legal without a prescription. Now remember, you can of course go to Algo RX. You can get in Clomif. They don't sell research chemical bullshit. They don't even sell Retta. They don't sell BPC 157 because it's not FDA approved. Everything there is prescribed by doctors from compounding pharmacies.
Bring it on.
And so if you want a company that is 100% legit, above board, not breaking any laws ever.
He is very good at product placement, though, I have to say.
You go to Algorex and you get your money's worth. For example, please go to Merrick Health and compare the prices.
It's almost done.
I have no fear because I know once you see all the prices, you are going to go back to Algorex and you're going to use code Greg for your discount.
Damn it, Greg.
The UK's Crown prosecution said...
And it's just funny that it's also CPS, right? Crown Prosecution Service, Child Protective Services, the people who have a license to kidnap. Yeah, those pieces of shit. That's a Clintonism too. They weaponized CPS with the Adoption and Safe Families Act of 1997. She's a demon. She's a fucking demon.
Andrew was being charged with 7 further counts of ape, as well as charges relating to trafficking and indecent images of a younger person. The alleged offending is said to
YouTube sucks, man.
Taking place between July 2010 and August 2017. The Tates have previously denied any wrongdoing. Remember, they were already in jail. They already did all these investigations.
It's funny how what do they call it? retract consent. What's the right word for that? When people are actively doing something and then it's not withdraw. It's not, what is the word I'm looking for? It's not renege, but it's kind of like that. But you understand what I mean? It's like they decide after that they were taken advantage of. It's so like if it had anything to do with their little webcam business or whatever, it's like, didn't you know? It wasn't like the story he tells is he had like 4 girlfriends or 5 girlfriends come together. They all got mad at each other because they found out about each other, and then 3 stayed and 2 left or something like that. It's like, well, conscious decision, right? If it's stemming from that type of thing, or as he was building up that bitch empire or whatever he was doing there, you would have an awful lot of opportunities to change your mind without any issue.
In my opinion, is they need to move on, or perhaps move on to someone else. I mean, I don't have an exact figure, but I bet they've spent tens of millions of dollars on this. Couldn't they spend some of that money investigating other people in the Epstein's files? Like what exactly is going on? What society do we live in where they keep accusing the same people and nothing happens? This has been going on for years. The first time I'd heard Andrew Tate's name in my life, I heard of all these allegations, but yet years later, the same things keep coming every single time over and over again. These charging decisions followed receipt of a further file of evidence from Bedfordshire police and bring the total number of alleged victims in this case to 7. And so they get another report, some file, and they say, hey, there's now 7 people. Here's another file. Let's add in 37 charges because
I can't turn this off. Hold on. Hold on. It's not letting me stop it. Wow. Fucking phone, sorry. Well, it's connected if you guys want to call, but I wasn't trying to do that.
Isn't there 1,000 pages in the Epstein files that was exposed naming people for very specific actions, and yet nothing is done about that? Nothing. Has there even been one arrest made? I don't understand. They have a report over here, and bam, news all over the world. Epstein file release. Release the Epstein files, nothing happens. This is a slap in your face, and you don't even know it.
Oh, I don't.
Whether or not you like Andrew Tate, let's say you hate him. Do you not hate some of the people in the Epstein files even more? And so, where is our justice? A lawyer who represents the Tates, Joseph McBride, said, the world knows Andrew and Tristan Tate are innocent. In a statement released after their arrest on Saturday evening. Their enemies know it best of all. That is exactly why they have been attacked, McBride continued, describing the new
projection. They're fucking guilty as shit. The whole system, the whole cult is horrendously guilty of wicked. That's what's so stupid and irritating about the whole thing is that the atrocities that they commit or that they promote and they support. Just looking at Israel on its own and their indefensible actions that they champion, or the simple fact that we know what these cult members, this cult of child killers does, and how many high-level people with a lot of influence were named in that. The system doesn't put itself in jail, but it can definitely deflect and project. And when you're like in combat and you use somebody else's momentum or you shift their body weight into a different direction, well, that's what they're doing. Now everybody's gonna go chew on those guys' legs for a while there, doggies. That'll satisfy you.
UK charges as a political hit. The new charges were designed to counter a defamation action filed by the brothers in the U.S. Tristan and Andrew were, in fact, going against the people who made all these charges against them, saying they're defaming us.
Which would be funny if that led to discovery of who were putting those people up to the false allegations in the first place, and that would have exposed and cause some backlash legally and definitely in the court of public opinion. The entities and agencies and industries and everything else that were behind the fabricators of the allegations in the first place. And if there was, and I'm sure there was, money changing hands, well, then you gotta stop that. Is what they call it, stop loss. You gotta get out ahead of that, as they do so well, because remember, they're the ones turning the levers of society in the first place. I don't know what the hell that was, but so they're at the control of the levers of society, so they can push things through and make things happen awfully quick, because the rules don't apply to them; they apply to you. You have a process that you have to go through. They don't.
They're inventing this bullshit, and we've had enough. And they have the money to fight it. Perhaps $100 million. I don't know.
What if you didn't?
And so you could see, if they're saying, hey, you did this to me, we're going to accuse you of that, then they're going to accuse you back. They're going back and forth. Our lives are generally very simple. We don't think of powers that be or these higher ups or the Matrix. Imagine you're at Andrew's level where people can fabricate anything. Let's make up a story. Oh, you did this? 7 people,
they
8
do it.
people. When? 9
That's
people?
when you know you really made it. When there's people that actually devote their time worrying about your life and worrying about things that it's like all they have is the artificial world of the internet and their social media. That's all they have. They don't have anything outside of that. They don't have like a real life. And when they start devoting time to you, it's a creepy compliment, but it's still, I mean, it just goes to show just how little they have going on with themselves that they would have to devote time like that. You know what I did today? I had a very fulfilling activity. I cooked hickory smoked chicken on the grill for the family. And it felt great. I'm fasting today. I didn't even eat any of it. And I love this stuff. And everybody loves it. Everybody loves the chicken every time I make it. It's like the one thing that the 2 children will eat without complaint or without, I don't mean like they don't complain about it, but they usually want specific things and they want different things all the time. But universally, everybody likes the chicken when I make it. And Cat Rascal can't get enough of it. He makes himself quite annoying about it, actually. And of course, obviously, a dog would like it too. So our dog likes it too. But everybody in the household loves the chicken, and it felt good to be the guy who did it. You get the care and time and effort that you put into it. It's like an energy thing, right? That goes into your to your family and makes them happy, and there's some sort of real energy there. And some bonding things that happen at the same time, right? It's all good vibes. These people just have the internet and being spiteful and hateful towards other people that they don't know. And all they do is make up shit about them when they can't find anything, or they're not getting a proper reaction, they're not getting enough attention, because that's all they really want is attention. It's kind of sad.
42. Okay, sure. Write this up.
But they're cocksuckers, so it doesn't matter.
Under arrest, boom. What can you do? You then have to go to court. You have to go to jail. You have to spend millions of dollars defending yourselves.
Yeah, time in your life that you're never going to get back. Money that shouldn't have been spent on that. And you should be able to counter on all these things. But when it comes to governmental bodies, it's a lot harder to get anything back from them. And then you have to live with the knowledge that it's not actually coming from them. It's coming from the people. Like when you go after the police officers for something, or you go after, I don't know, somebody who injured you or your child with an injection. The VAERS thing, that doesn't come out of the not so liable anymore since 1986 companies. No. That comes from the taxpayers. So you're kind of, it's a fuck you victory,
They've already done? Yep, we're innocent. Okay. Hey, bam, back in jail. What are you supposed to do? Like, imagine if this happened to you or I.
Yeah,
we
how
are
many more times is
confident
gonna
that
happen?
once a competent judge sees the facts and once the Department of Justice confronts this egregious abuse of its own authority, Andrew and Tristan Tate will walk free. America does not do Britain's political dirty work, he continued.
Okay, so here's the whole thing, though. The amount of liability that they're creating for themselves from whatever it is that they needed to hide in order to counter in the first place, plus whatever they're going to stir up with this, they have to make something stick, regardless if it's real or not. If this whole scenario isn't just more distraction in the first place. And who's to say they don't try to do this again in another year or 6 months again? Like, how do they know? They can't be charged twice for the same crime, but they can make up new ones of similar nature and continue to do this for however long. Department of Justice. They don't deserve to have the last word in that name.
Here, Matt Jury, who represents several alleged British victims of Andrew Tate, welcomed the charges and said, Andrew and Tristan Tate are accused of some of the most
offenses. Yeah, anybody can be accused of anything. Doesn't mean there's any reality to it. There's a lot of people who are accused of a lot of things, and they're coached a lot by, women are coached by their lawyers and other people to say things in court. Regardless of, they know it's false, but they're going to get custody and they're going to get the money. Right? All right. Or they're going to do something else, and they use maybe that woman's situation to target somebody that they didn't think should have freedom, finances, the ability to be hired. Just ruin the person themselves, or just drag them through the court process and impoverish them that way. Or maybe they just didn't want that person to have legal possession of a firearm. That would sometimes that's as low as the goal is.
Serious offenses, including multiple counts of ape and human. It is time they face justice. Imagine if somebody accused you of a horrible crime, something you can't even imagine.
So it's funny that they'd be talking about rape and human trafficking. It was the Tates. Yeah. What about that other guy? What about that other? I don't know. Everybody who has more than a couple $1 million and what they were emailing each other back and forth about for I don't know, 6 to 7 million pages worth of emails and other documents. And this guy who kind of seems to be at the center of it all with his jerky, his baby meat. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Forget about all that. Look at the Tates.
You're thinking, well, I'm innocent. Tell me who said it. No. And you then have to go to jail for months and or years waiting trial, and then you then go to trial, and the case has mysteriously been dropped. And that person that accused you, we'll release the names, they were actually paid $100,000 to make that shit up. Would you not lose your shit? Despite the fact that there's a lot of people that don't like Andrew, people are starting to come around. It's kind of like when we were told we had to wear that Halloween mask to go trick-or-treating for Halloween. And many
He's talking about COVID, obviously.
Us, we didn't agree with it. And people now, they're coming around like, wait a minute. All those things they told us to do, it didn't actually make any sense.
If they're just not coming around, then yeah, that at least I guess better late than never. But what about the people who thought it was bullshit from the start? It wasn't very easy living with the people who didn't quite get it.
There is some form of a matrix that's playing tricks on all of us. They're after these guys because a lot of people don't like them because they're not nicety on Instagram, YouTube, and so on. They've already been canceled off half these platforms because they say things that you don't like. And so enough people don't like you, it doesn't matter if you're actually a good person. If you say the wrong things and people dislike you and it becomes cool to go against you, then
and you know what? Not a good person, or is a good person, or how about simply just isn't a bad person, or simply isn't guilty of this thing. You can still dislike a person. You could still not like their views on things. That doesn't mean that you should be cheering when they're being accused of something that's not true, because all you're doing is you're reinforcing and you're supporting and you're making more strong a system that could then do that to you or somebody else that you care about. If they can go after somebody with that much money and resources and you find that okay and you're cheering it on like a fucking maniac at a gladiator contest, then how do you not see how that could just, slingshot back at you? You know what I mean? You're empowering corruption. when it suits your tastes. When it goes at, like, you don't care. Like, some people don't care the validity of statement. They just don't like people because they're just belligerent assholes. Those people suck. Those people are pieces of shit. Those people have no problem with other people lying about things if they've already decided, or a group that they are a part of has already decided that you're worth their time to try to dismantle. They don't even need to, like, some people don't even need to have a valid reason. It's just, hey, who we hating today? Okay, let's go get them. No, hey, is this a decent person? Are they a family person? Do they do right by the people in their life? Do they have people in their life? Do you have people in your life? Or are you spending all your time worrying about other targets so you can be a fucking jerk off, right? Be a gang stalker.
One jumps on board and says, you're a misogynist, you belong in jail, even if the person
crazy.
didn't commit those crimes.
Right.
Somebody wrote, yes, 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 under the jail, loser.
Right.
Cheering for somebody to go to jail when you don't even know if they did anything wrong. So are you getting this now? I'm just reporting.
That person who posted that was a sucker of the cock.
The facts here. The facts, he's been arrested.
He hasn't been smashing himself in the balls enough.
For charges, we don't know if he's actually done them. They've had years to investigate. If he actually did those charges,
things,
they have somehow found out by now? And so, what do you think is going on? One thing I can know for certain is that had Andrew Tate have been on tour...
Yeah, okay. This is where it just kind of falls apart because he's going to do more salesman. Oh, you mean like this? You mean like that? Yeah. All right. It's an empty box. I just use it for a prop now. All right. So there's that. Let's go back to the chat for a moment. Did anybody else pop up yet? Oh yeah, investigating the biggest scam in Pokemon. You know who that biggest scam would be from? The douchebag who runs all scams. Including NFTs. Hey, we need somebody who's really popular on YouTube, who's half Jew, part of the club, half Shabbat, to popularize NFTs so us drug dealers and child killing human traffickers can move money around and use this NFT thing as their excuse as to why huge amounts of money are changing hands. Oh yeah, let's get one of the Paul brothers. This one was weird. They love doing the perp walk thing. Let's keep showing that over and 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 over again. There might be some things I want to scroll through that later. Let's see. All right, so let's go to the chat first. I need to move my head. Should I move my head? Let's go on the dark screen so I can read better. And by the way, you can see balls being kicked anyway. It's more satisfying. There it goes. All right, where did we leave off? What the hell's McBuster? Did everybody already delete this nigga or what? What are we doing here? Let's do a refresh. I'll just go from this list. Sounds like somebody just made up a name so they could be suckers of cock over here. No, I don't see him anymore. Somebody got him. Anti-satanic. Yes, exactly. Is Daniel reading the instruction manual on how to deal with the female? And then Edward said anti-satanic. And then Karen said, definitely the Pepto-Bismol spokesman. Pepto-Bismol spokesman. What a nightmare. Daniel likes to help us have sweet dreams before bedtime. McBuster. Tranny Tate. Oh, I think he's all right. He's just talking. I just saw McBuster. I was like, is that somebody who just decided to put their name up here so they can fuck with us? I don't know. Sneeko's Jewish. No, I think he's Well, he was a Christian who went Muslim, who does whatever. He's he was on the teat of Andrew Tate for a while. He's trying to reinvent himself to remain relevant often, and he also had his conflicts with our good friend there who did the narration of the intro, Charlie Penguin Zero, aka Moist Critical. If he's not, he's definitely controlled by one. No, that's absolutely true. All their management is. They have a career because somebody else manages it. There's no way Clavicular went on that massive podcast and major TV station tour without management who is in the cult, who can pull levers and actually try to make something as stupid as what he was promoting relevant. There was nothing special about him, and once that magic spell man with the peyotes on his sides and the big smelly beard and the black coat walks out of his life, he's gonna realize that, oh, that was all them. Shit. Yeah, says if he's not, he's definitely control. A good one, eat whatever they're fed by the feds. So true, she says. And the first fire says, yep. Don't like hatred? Try venom. I haven't tried the venom yet. She's funny. I'll get it the next time I play theater. Oh, you weren't talking about the best hot sauce on the planet this time. Nice. You did product placement too, Karen. Thank you. SemperFryLLC.com. And then Edward Someone says, the Tates make great examples for Mocha Brown Monkey Boys. And First Fire says, I ordered some mild stuff a few days ago. Cool. I am working on that stuff. There's a couple caps. I need some caps for certain sizes to arrive. They're already placed, and I have creatine coming for other orders that went beyond what I had in stock. So that it's all coming from like California. So it's not that far. It'll be quick. They're screaming, throw him in the rape ape cage, right? But that's the thing. He's like, jail is worse than prison. First of all, most people don't even understand the distinction. It's like holding tank inside of like a police station versus, and that's not where they're going to stay. If they're going to be there for any period of time, they'll be in general pop, or maybe not because of their high profile. But whatever. They're not going to be by themselves, and if they are, maybe they are. I don't know. It's not boredom or butt rape. I think I would go with boredom if I had to choose. Falsified evidence, almost Holocaustified evidence. Serbian said, Bull said peptides, eh? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's bullshit. That's why when he's right and he's on point about a different topic, Coach Greg is fine. But every time he does dumb stuff, I point it out. And that's one of the reasons why I started the other channel there, the Fitwit, because there's a lot of like that going on that are way worse than Greg. And I'm going to be doing my analysis of those videos once I have a chance to do so, and putting that stuff up there, reminding people that it's really easy if you just have your freaking nutrients, and then you worry about everything else after that. Nutrients, stay away from the bullshit, and then also move around a little, being an engine giver. Clawback. You played it. Yes, I did. Yeah, I didn't forgot that I couldn't. Telegram wouldn't let me just pause it when I started hearing music. First, it was black screen for a little too long, so I was like, "What's going on?" Because this phone's processing speed is. Hey, my mom gave me a phone. That's all I'm gonna say. It's nice of her to mail me a phone. He's doing the cat box. I will watch it, later. First Fire says this guy is jacked, but his voice sounds like if we're no, you know what it is. People said it, and it's hilarious. It's Gilbert Godfrey. They said the parrot from Aladdin. What's funny is his normal voice isn't nearly that bad, but people started really tuning into his little videos when he would get amped up at drama and do the scream. So that's become his trademark. So he does it, and if he's gonna he could probably talk a lot deeper, but that just became his thing. It's kind of funny. I used to make fun of him 4 years ago Like and I would say like he's like the Gilbert Gottfried of bodybuilding. Beef jerky. Need I say more? Exactly. Karen, first fire. Okay, you guys saying hello to each other. Hellos. And we're good. Okay, you guys talking for money. For money laundering, and an NFT could be traded like data art. Data art. What am I? Is that everything? I think I got everybody. Let me make sure there's nobody on this side here. That might be something from except for that one. But that's cool that I have it in a grid chat here. So as long as it's not one of those custom RTMPs, you get to see everything all in one spot. But if it's not, but if it is a custom RTMP from some, we don't really have that problem anymore. Like Kick, I bet you Kick will get their own thing on Rumble eventually, and then I'll be able to see the chat there, which is probably 0 people right now. Yeah, I was right. That's right. There's 2 people watching though. Kicking it. They're kicking it. See. I do like the new emblem though. I am happy with that. All right, so let's get back into it. And we'll do that by... Has anything happened on Twitch? No. Anybody watching on Twitch? No. Fuck, guys. My live stream is unstable. Average stream bitrate too high. It's 8,000. Give it a rest, you bitch. Really? That's so lame. You're unstable. Bitrate too high. You guys are rated for 8,000. You're a gaming platform. Your bitrate should be astronomical. What it is they scale up based on how valuable you are to them. So they'll put you at 2K if you're getting a bunch of followers. So it's kind of like it's like Catch-22, right? It's like that SAG card thing. You need a SAG card to work on these movies. You need to have worked on movies to get a SAG card. Screen Actors Guild. That was in that. It was in that world for a while. As a production assistant, within doing little acting things here and there. All right, so I'm skipping over something. I'm missing something here. Is it that one? Yeah. All right, let's go with that part. It's quick.
Hey, would you mind signing?
Would you mind signing? So that's what the shitbag has to fucking lie to him at first, right? It's like you're all geared up. The only reason why he said, "Would you mind signing?" is simply because his back was turned. It's not like you were in disguise, incognito as a fan. You know, hey, would you mind signing? So he turned around. What an asshole! Like he had to start with a fucking lie. They're such pieces of shit. And watch how the officers are darting their heads around back and forth. I mentioned this maybe yesterday. I feel like I've said it once to somebody, but they look like they're all nervous, like they don't know what to do with themselves. I think it was yesterday. And you got a guy, Captain Shabbat here over, with the hat. Like, interesting choice of clothing. I know that's not what it is, but when I first saw that, I'm like, is that a rabbi without missing the peyotes? No, that's just Tristan. Which, by the way, funny enough, you have to pick a name. You had to pick a name in my French class in high school. So I took 4 years of French in high school, and they make you pick a name. You need to pick a French name. And I already had a brother whose name was Christian, but he not a good ending there. So I went with Tristan. It's funny enough, and then everybody would make a joke, and I was making a joke, calling it Trisket, like the cracker. But that's his real name. He's got to live with that.
Come over here by me. Let's go. Come over here by me.
Dude, is the cameraman having a heart attack? Like zing, 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 zing. That's one of Tate's people. He kind of fell apart there. His professionalism. Like, imagine if you were watching an IRL stream and the guy's going, zing, 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 zing. That's not good camera work. It's really not. It's really not. Maybe zoom out a little bit if you need to see 2 things at once. He's like, so am I getting paid still, or how's that going to work? I'm just gonna shut the camera off now. Then what's with the guy in the gold, the gold jacket there? As he well, he does not really disrobe me, but he's taking all the chains, I think, off of his neck to afford more shinier jackets, or maybe just so that they don't go through the court system. These motherfuckers steal all the time. The police are the most freaking corrupt pieces of shit on the planet. That dude's got a schnozzle on him, doesn't he? This guy right here, the one that lied to get it going in the first place. He's small in stature and he has a beak nose. That's all I'm saying. Could be Arab too.
Back up.
Okay, scrawny arm bitch. Yeah, tough when you have a SWAT gear on. Look at this guy. Like, do you really think you needed that for Andrew and Tristan Tate? Do you think you needed to have a fucking 308? I'm guessing that's what that is. Probably not. It's probably not a, 223556. I would imagine it's a 308. That's usually what those bagel douches carry, right? A 762 by whatever the hell is 51.
Back up.
Shut the fuck up! Fucking yell at me. I'm not the one in trouble here. I need to assert myself because I was told to be crowd control, and I want to go over there and I want to molest the rich guy too. Look, yeah, he does. He wears capri pants. It is really weird. And no socks with dress shoes. Stinky. Hold on, I haven't yelled at anybody yet in a while. Hold on, I'm gonna turn my head again and yell. See, like the turning of the head stuff. Like that's not a person who's sure. That's not a person who's aware of their situation. They've got all kinds of gear, and absolutely no training, which they won't need for something like this. But what if they did need the training? These guys would be picked off easily. Just saying, in case anybody has ideas. That's an awful lot of equipment. That's an awful lot of equipment. He's got 2 mags, like 30 round mags, I'm assuming. And he's got the 9mm in the front. It's just like awful. It's a lot of overkill for what they're doing here. Did you think it was really going to turn into a shootout with Mr. Tight Clothes? Where was he hiding his little pea shooter? Like seriously. Up his ass crack? Yeah, this guy here has a questionable nose. Yeah, the guy, is he IDF? Is this what's happening? Ooh, there's a thought, huh? Yeah, so that little merger thing, like that, as if they only announced it because it has already been happening. Who do you? Yeah, the whole intertraining bullshit that they do. Yeah, that is a questionable thing, and maybe that's why he had to be the one, because you know how they always have, they don't leave anything to chance, and they have to have their people for their rituals and all that shit. That's. I would look into who the fuck this guy is and find out. Find out. Who is this guy? And where did he come from? And how many babies pacifiers does he have on a necklace? Dude, that's the more I would look at it, the more I see it. Holy shit. Yeah, there's an intermixing here of who's who's. I guarantee it. And I swear to fucking Christ, if Interpol is having Israelis working for them, that is a fucking horrible idea.
Tim.
Shut the fuck up.
Tristan, anything to say?
Fuck you. That's his people, isn't it? Isn't that his people? Maybe it's not. It's like, you really want to ask me that question right now? How many people on his own crew were helping set him up, I wonder? I may have also said that yesterday. Forgive me. This fucking guy. Is it doing it all over again now? Did we have a time warp? Did we loop back over again? Oh, that's because it's a phone.
Is this a girl?
Crotch cam. See how he keeps looking over his shoulder? Everybody's looking around, looking to see what the other guy's doing. And look at this guy. His posture, his position, his stance, his very arrogant freaking, horse fucking stance here. It screams oive to me. And military oive, which means killer of innocent people who are unarmed. I really would like to know who the fuck this guy is. He's the only one, look at it. He's the only one who doesn't look like he belongs with the rest of them. And he's the one who asked the question, can I have your autograph, or could you sign this for me, please? And then he turned around. He didn't say fuck you and keep walking. He turned around. Who is this guy? He's got that Zohan fucking look to him. The Mossad? Is he IDF? What the hell is he?
Guys, wait.
It's like, I'm gonna pat your bottom. You get close, I'm gonna pat your bottom. Last warning. I've got mags for shit I don't even have on me. I'm about to throw it at you. So he's taking his chains. It was a shakedown. It was just a robbery. They made off with like 20 grand in chains. Armpit. Look at the fat ass on that chick. She could rest a carrot or like a server's tray on it. That one. We're now back to Dick Cam. See? Told you. Zeroed right in on the dick. Yeah, this guy over here in the green shirt also, I don't think he's part of his crew. And I would wonder if he was part of this, if they set up. Because it seems, I think he was walking with them. Yeah, the Jews have put together with their, by proxy, of course, the banking cult of child killers have put together some more things for you to have to deal with. A coordinated attack. Remember, they can shoot their golden boys in the neck in broad daylight. So, well, I don't know. Are they safe?
They make it up and then they come get it.
All right, so there's that. I'm gonna bring this up a little bit. Yeah. All right, I will be back in a moment. Otherwise, when you're fasting, you gotta drink a lot of fluids because so anyway, you can fill up your tummy. So I had a lot of coffee today and enough water. And 2 more days of this at least. So every time I get the urge, I'm going to take that mastic gum and I'm just going to chew it until I get mandibular, yeah. I'm gonna look smacks every time I feel like I'm hungry. I'm just gonna look smacks. You'll see. Good chewing gum in there, the big wad. Mastic-dum doesn't have any calories. It would be totally okay for a fast.
Good afternoon, everyone. So today went as expected.
They all fucking suck, and they're keeping them.
There was never going to be any fireworks today. Today wasn't about controversy. Today was about just enforcing Mr. Tate's, Andrew and Tristan Tate's rights and objecting to the extradition process. We are, of course, objecting to extradition because Andrew and Tristan are innocent. They've never done nothing wrong. They shouldn't be extradited for crimes they did not commit. They're entitled to have their day of court that we've been litigating the case for 3 years in Palm Beach County in Florida. So we're fighting extradition. We've assembled a team here. These are from the Roy Black's prestigious firm. The Honorable and since passed on Roy Black, he's a legend, and they're here. They have joined our team. We have a competent team. We have a wonderful team. We're looking forward to getting the best possible result under the sun. Proceedings have now started in this courtroom, so I am less liberal with what I'm able to say. But if you have any questions for me, I'll do my best to answer them in a way that's respectful of your time, of our time, and of the court processes.
Mr. Cremo acknowledged that the brothers.
Go ahead.
Acknowledging court that the brothers reviewed the complaint with them. Could you explain their first reaction to these allegations?
The allegations, their first reaction to the allegations is the first reaction that any innocent man or woman would have. It's garbage. It's a stitch-up job. They're after us to punish us with the process. The process is the punishment. When you drag somebody's name through the media, when you slander them, when you defame them, when you accuse them of heinous and terrible allegations, the process becomes the punishment until you can clear your name. They've been clearing their names domestically and abroad for years. This is just the next logical conclusion in that situation. Keir Starmer just retired or is retiring. I'm sure he's mad that Andrew and Tristan Tate had a lot to do with his fall in Great Britain. And there's a new guy in there right now. But this is the last vestige of attack of a prime minister who didn't do a good job. And he continues to do bad work. And I'll just leave it there. Innocent until proven guilty. We're going to let the court process play out here the way that it should. We're happy to be here.
Mr. McBride, the U.S.-UK treaty allows an exception for extradition if the charges are politically motivated.
Right. Politically motivated? I think any one of these trees or any one of these rocks could answer that question. Yes, it's politically motivated. There's no question about it. These guys went to D.C. to exercise their First Amendment rights. They met with members of Congress as private citizens. They met with friends in Washington, D.C. They walked the grounds of the Capitol, and 3 days later, they're in the jumpsuit. You do the math.
And that's the tool that you're going to use to get them free.
We have many tools. One of the ways that we'll argue, I'm not going to give away our entire arguments here, but we're certainly going to say that there are special circumstances. We're certainly going to use a totality of the circumstances argument, and that will be one of the things that we argue for certain.
Mr. McBride?
Yes, sir.
If the legal process goes towards extradition, it will be up to the Trump administration and Secretary of State to decide to sign off on extradition. What do you think the administration is seeing now?
Well, I appreciate your question. I see where you're going with it. You're fast voting to the end of the process. What's important to do now is focus on what's here and now, what's before us. Well, we have to go in there. We have a conference coming up in a few days. We're going to set a briefing schedule. We'll make our arguments before the court. We'll see what this judge does. I don't want to make political statements about the administration when right now that's the executive branch and we're here in front of the judicial branch. And I want to be mindful and respectful of the people that we're in front of here.
Do you believe your clients have support?
I believe that my clients have support from every person who's a reasonably minded person, whether they're in the United States or abroad, elected or not elected. Everybody knows that Andrew and Tristan Tate are innocent. Yes.
I was listening to your interview earlier this morning.
It's okay.
It looks like you're positioning the charges within the framework of being politically motivated, but the charges themselves don't seem to have an intersection with politics. Can you flesh out a little bit more why you're positioning it?
Sure. You don't have to have an intersection between politics and criminal charges for there to be a stitch-up job here. The man that I voted for office, who's currently in office, had millions of charges slandered against him all over the place. Some of them he beat, some of them he didn't beat. Most people who understand the process know that that was a load of crap. Most people who see this for what it is know that it is the same exact thing. Anybody
It's
else?
hooey.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, there were multiple women who claim that they were victims of the case. Are you saying that those women are politically motivated?
Yes.
I'm not going to comment as to the
Are you saying women lie about things? Of course, a woman was asking that. How dare you? Don't. Are you trying to expose the fact that we're liars by nature if it suits our needs because we're spiteful, evil cunts? How dare you? At least that one is. Who would ask a question like that? So loaded. Are you saying that all these women are liars? No, I'm saying all these women are opportunists who probably did have interactions with them, but then were coerced to say something fucking 9 years later or longer. Yeah.
Any case, what I can say is that we have a defamation lawsuit against a false accuser
Good.
that we're litigating successfully in Palm Beach County. That case is getting ready to go to trial. What I can say about the allegations of
So much trouble in the PBC. I've walked all through that area. West Palm Beach, Jupiter. Yeah, Jupiter, Florida. You know who the man from Jupiter was? Burt Reynolds. I've been to Burt Reynolds Park.
Kingdom, not a single solitary person has been identified. These are ghosts and these are phantoms. So we like to know who's accused Andrew and Tristan of what. And if we get there, then I can give you a reasonable minded and intelligent comment about the potential allegations that come from
this is like a melted what do you call it? Rocket pop. It's pretty free. I've had these before and I didn't think they were that great, but maybe because I wasn't fasting that day that they just taste really good right now. Zero sugar.
Ladies.
One last point of clarification. In the interview this morning I listened to, you talked about your efforts, kind of forecasting how you plan to fight this if it doesn't go your way. And you said, I will appeal all the way to the top of the food chain. Was that a reference to the president?
That was a reference to the Supreme Court. This is the judicial process. Top of the food chain is Clarence Thomas and the 8 other justices that abide there.
So, right, just I understand what was their initial reaction?
Funny that he named Clarence Thomas by name.
Their initial reaction was, "What's going on?" We've been, in the United States, hanging out on multiple trips for a very long time. We haven't been accused of anything of substance here. We're American citizens. We operate freely. We operate as law-abiding people. We went to see our Congress people in D.C. and now we're getting arrested.
Right.
This feels political.
Exactly.
And, of course, they didn't like it. No one.
It was retaliation.
Man likes getting taken to jail. It's a horrible situation. But we're going to do everything that we can do with this wonderful team that we've assembled here to get them out.
Counsel, what was their own
Rob, we're trying to figure that out right now. Andrew and Tristan are citizens of the world. I think it's a public record that they've been in between Dubai and Romania for some years. We will sort the rest of that out in due course.
Just for clarity purposes, the judge mentioned that it wasn't, this wasn't a criminal proceeding, but the judicial process hasn't begun. Where are we now, just legally? Clarity.
So, yeah, this is not a criminal proceeding, and what the judge was talking about is that the Bail Reform Act isn't the operative law here. We're looking at the extradition process. This is the first small step in that process. There's a lawyers-only conference coming up in a few days. Our legal team will talk to the government will talk to our team, we'll converse with the judge, we'll set a briefing schedule for substantive arguments to be made at some point in the future.
You also posted on X about solitary confinement.
Yeah, solitary confinement is torture. When you look at the international law on it, the Nelson Mandela rules, the Geneva Conventions, solitary confinement is outlawed, prolonged solitary in 16 different states. It is defined as captivity of a human being for 22 hours or more a day in a cell. Prolonged solitary confinement is universally condemned around the world.
Samuel Bolcavano was in solitary for quite a long time.
As universal as torture, as a human rights violation. So anytime you keep somebody in solitary confinement, what you're doing is you're keeping them there to break their spirit, to break their soul, and to break the psychology of the mind.
But at least it doesn't break the rectum. So there is a plus side.
Egregious misuse of the judicial system. And by the way, Andrew and Tristan have not been convicted of any crime. The Fifth Amendment of the
there's less chance of sphincter stretching in solitary.
United States protects them. It's not the standard of cruel and unusual punishment that the Eighth Amendment gives. It is the Fifth Amendment person. No innocent person can be punished while they're being held for any proceeding. innocent until proven guilty. Solitary confinement is punishment. It should
Oh wow,
not
you just made all of the Jewish tactics in Israel itself completely unjust and invalid. Way to go, buddy.
happen. My understanding is we're working to get them out of there as soon as possible. But if they're left in there for reasons that we won't be able to talk about right now, I'll be sure to let you know in my Twitter post. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you all. God bless Andrew and Tristan Tate. Have a fantastic day. We'll see you in a few weeks.
Few weeks. It's rough. Sorry, there was a lot of bubbles in that. Just kind of get through them. Do I really need to look at this? Nah, I don't think. Hold on. There's a Charlie thing down here. What was that? What was that? Oh, look at that. I'm pretty sure that this is bullshit. So that you click on it and look at. Oh yeah, I'm sure that blood is totally real. That's totally not any AI bullshit there. And he's got a fresh, like, still sore sun wheel tattoo on him. Take it, please. Yeah, no, I don't care about any of that. Ew. Some cracked out people. All right, so then we bring it over to this asshole. But I want to do the short version of it because it's really hard to stomach this fucker when he talks. Let's at least see where this all began. It's right before Sneeko plays it.
You know what the
This idiot here with this. Alright. So it's Sneeko, but they're all telling him. It's like, oh, it's his first, it's that fault, that fault, whatever. Who cares? Man up to it. This fucking guy.
How'd you know, Myron? I think you know. The twinkling star in the southern sky.
They both know that song, apparently.
Fell in love. We went down the road.
Jesus Christ. He's like, for the love of God, get me off this fucking bullshit. Play the fucking song, says Clavicular. This guy is such a little freaking parasite. Not this guy. I don't think he's relevant at all, but this dude, Sneeko. Oh, they're all doing it. Apparently, they all know the song. Jesus Christ. He's not very comfortable. He doesn't like when anybody outshines him, though, so it could be a little bit of everything. He has no tolerance for any of it. See, he has no tolerance for other people just, like, enjoying themselves, and he feels mocked. He needs to be the center of attention at all times.
Hey, you know what to do.
Since you never fly away, and she's my girl. It's cause I showed her.
This simple bedtime ritual to improve vision by up to 44%. You may not know this, but the biological...
He's like, ads, what are you, poor? You didn't pay for the subscription to go ad free? What are you, poor? All right, I guess I like Tristan. That was pretty funny.
Watch Rumble.
It was Rumble too? Fucking Rumble Premium? No, shut up. No way.
I don't watch Rumble.
The bottled water industry hates
Chris
when you do
Popovsky,
this.
man.
Oh, it's in that.
This bottle can slow aging.
Chris is a legend, bro. I love Chris. Chris is a legend. Look.
This is the stuff they cut all up because this is a IRL stream, right?
Tell you something. Let's go. There was a storm. There was a storm in Sarasota.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Look at this little demonic fucking mind, the eyeballs. I know I'm gonna do something right now. Watch it. Oh, they fucking did it. Did you hear? They muted it. They fucking muted. Look at his fucking crazy eyes. And look, freaking, you got Fuentes back there. They fucking muted it when they. Oh my god, Odyssey sucks cock. Holy shit, they muted it. Wow. Well, I guess I could play it in the back. No, that's all right. It's kind of a pain in the ass. But there's, the song. You know the song. I can't believe they forget.
Canceled it, and then we wouldn't have to be on Rumble.
See, when the music's playing, it's all muted. That is some bullshit because it came back and then they go back. Then when they go in the club, it's played again. So of course they had to make it more public than just the ride when they can do whatever they want in their own, what they call that? The house is like a vehicle is like a home. You have like, same type of rights. So that's some bullshit. Odyssey's gay. Or whoever uploaded it to Odyssey is gay. Huh. Yeah. Oh, is this muted too? Let's find out. Such a gay. Really? There you go. It's like a shallow song about free speech. It's not even about like, hey, this guy didn't do it. The Jews framed him. It's none of that. He's stupid. He's not deep. But anyway, so that's what they were playing. And then we get over to this. And I'm going to try to do the less disgusting. I said, who the fuck still listens to this Eddie Munster Omen Child? Ben Shapiro slams Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson, and Candace Owens for defending Muslim pornographers, Andrew and Tristan Tate. See how he's already... They're all guilty because our Jews already have trumped up the charges. I guarantee that fucking guy is questionable, at least, who asked him for his if he could sign this for him before they got him, when they was standing all smug like a little fucking troll that he is. Judaism opposes pornography and finds it a sin, Shapiro insists. Is that right? Is that right? Why don't you say that? Yeah, really? Where's Shmuley? Where's Pornhub? Yeah, who owns those things? OnlyFans. Are you out of your fucking mind? The Talmud is misunderstood. 3-year-old girl. That's all propaganda. That's all anti-Semitic lies. No, it's the words actually. The fuck you talking about? Judaism opposes pornography. They are the distributors of like 99% of it. And if other people are found doing it, like Larry Flint, they fucking shoot them.
As I've mentioned, devoted hours of airtime proclaiming Tate's innocence.
Yeah, well, I mean, what? Yeah, okay. So, what does that tell you? It's like, wow. Rabbi Shlomo. That says, wow, so much anti-Semitism in these comments. Sure, Jews are overwhelmingly responsible for communism, cultural Marxism, feminism, critical theory, race theory, pornography, hate speech, legislation, gender theory, mass non-white immigration to Western countries, left-wing judicial activism, the destruction of traditional Christianity, the normalization of sexual deviancy, the interminable warmongering, which means never-ending, right? Interminable, unceasing warmongering in the Middle East, and the general degradation of our culture through their near total control of media and Hollywood. But does everyone have to keep pointing it out? So that guy's a funny dude, right? Blink. I like how he's getting freaking his eye, huh? Yeah. Dildo Rabbi and his daughter say different. Exactly. That's somebody who only read this part. I was kicked out of more than 1,000 locations spanning 109 countries. But it was never my fault. And what actually happened is that the entire world was anti-Semitic. and they all conspired together to accuse me of similar crimes despite being thousands of miles and centuries apart. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Nick Fuentes is a piece of shit, and he also said Epstein was a pretty cool guy. So yeah, so we're not vindicating who owns OnlyFans, who owns Brazzers and Pornhub. I'm pretty sure it's not Cornhub. Oh look who it is. Oh, speaking of omen children. Hold on. Who owns the biggest free porn sites? Who owned OnlyFans? Right, he died. The Jews are behind all degeneracy, says that person. Who's destroying a flock camera in the process there?
So did Candace.
But the point is here is also, besides they've been going after Nick, and Nick was somehow, for some fucked up reason, he was the most awkward person there in that live stream, in that IRL stream in real life. But they clustered all these people together because they're going to blanket label them after the fact. And anybody who they don't like, well, if they don't like the one person, it holds true for all of those other people. And when Jews don't like somebody, if a Jew then accuses you of something, there's no process. There's no innocent until proven guilty. There's just them repeating it over and over and over again and coming out with very harsh and strong and loud statements and drama, and all the fucking pipes and all the fucking horns beat the same fucking tune out into the air. And that's all you hear, and it drives you insane until all you hear and see is what they fucking tell you is reality. And this is what they're doing with the Tate thing. Because it's not even the Tates that they're actually concerned with. It's about, oh, you like that guy? It's about going after quote unquote groypers, but all this stuff is bullshit. Nick's a fucking piece of is one of them. It's like all of it's fucking distraction. But who's it really for? It's about going after us. It's about anybody who can be categorized as being supportive of these people who have platforms on the social media that you follow, that you comment on. It's the people that they're going after for being, what is that? Oh, loyalists, or you can say sympathizers. And this is why I say it's going to be a Purim, because when they killed 75,000 quote unquote Persians, which were Gothic Aryan people in Persia, the founders, even if that didn't happen in reality, the Book of Esther, that's their Jewish fantasy, and they reenact it. So when they go on a tear and kill 60 million Russian Christians, that's a Purim. When they kill through hanging at Nuremberg, that's a Purim. So what do you think is going to happen here? Gallows, probably, because that's symbolic. They were wearing golden nooses in the Knesset when they had given themselves permission to murder everyone else in Gaza and to eliminate all of their captives. They gave themselves permission to do that. It's always a Purim. It's always the same thing. It's the retaliation, it's revenge for shit, revenge for getting caught plotting. It's their revenge for getting caught plotting against people who are trying to live and coexist with them in the same territory. That's the crime. The crime is the crime is living. The crime is you built the civilization and now you think you own it? That's how they are. They're a fucking parasite. They want total control. They are resentful of the host and the dependency of them being needing a host, because they can't continue anything on their own. They're hoping with their technology that they'll be able to do that this time so that they can eliminate everybody. They also made us fucking build that for them too, because they're not able to do that shit. And now this little freaking pissant here, this unshaven scrotum, is going to say all the kinds of stupid shit. It's all going to be convoluted. It's all going to be upside down and backwards. And it's all going to be also vilifying and going after people if I say vilify and vindicate, hopefully you guys know the difference there. They're going to be going after people who are part of their little clique of distraction and what do you call it? Not disinformation, yeah, but controlled opposition, like Nick Fuentes as well. They create the characters, and then they, you know, you got a He-Man here, you got a Skeletor, but it's still the same two people. It's still the same body with two hands going like this to them. Got him. And then whatever casual, you know, the collateral damages would be, oh, you follow Nick. Oh, we have your metadata to prove it. You're on the threat assessment list for Palantir when the Purim comes along. It's all about building up this idea in the public eye that to be this thing somehow equates to Nazi over here, which is also made up. National Socialists more than anything that they said that they were, but they've already sold people the last 80 years on this idea of Nazi. So if they can cram everybody in there that they don't like, well, then there's anti-Semitism laws. And there's going to be harsh, strict punishment for people who are classified as either domestic terrorists, you know, threats. Funny that domestic terrorists would be the thing that they accuse us of, because it's all about projection. And this is where it's heading. It's not about the characters that they're even shit talking. Like Candace Owens is another fucking fraud. Tucker, he's got an intelligence dad too. I highly doubt any of these people are under any real scrutiny by the Jews. But what are the people that voice their opinions, their own opinions, critical of, and how could you not be critical of people who are blatantly doing these horrific things? It's on purpose that they make you see these things so that you are overly inspired to say, what the fuck, are you kidding me? These people are maniacs. Gotcha. Because it's not about the validity. It's not about the decency. It's not about who's right and who's wrong. It's about getting people to be able to be categorized in a way that they can force the idea on the rest of the masses of asses that you're a bad person, so that there'll be cheers rather than terror and horror when they come get you, when they come round you up. The crowd will be cheering rather than saying, this is fucking wrong. And then the next wave will be them.
The vice president followed the Tate brothers on X.
Yeah, so what? Oh, who cares? This is a little shit, right? Like, all these things mean something. I fucking hate this guy so fucking much. There's a reason why I avoid contact or, you know, listening to this piece of shit, but this came across, a friend of mine sent it to me. Somebody followed. See what I mean, though? This is exactly what I was just talking about. You follow them on social media. Therefore, you are like whoever the hell we want to paint to and say that they're this thing. Those people who they're using as the example of why you're bad for supporting them or for following them. You know, people follow accounts because they don't like you, so that they can constantly shit talk you. But that doesn't matter to anybody. It doesn't matter to the Jews. The Jews follow everybody so that they can fuck with them. The Jews create fucking National Socialists, but when they do, it's Nazis. Nazi groups, and then they commit crimes, and they blame or arrest or kill people who were drawn into the group that they manufactured. That thing would have never existed if it wasn't for their hand in it to create it in the first place. ADL, Mossad, all that shit. Feds, CIA, doing shit right here. Making fake freaking crusaders. Making fake platforms, bullshit things, honey traps. Why? Because if you follow this type of stuff, then we can get you. We can label you, categorize you, and Palantir already has your information, and your days are numbered. The drones will be by shortly. or the guys will be knocking down your door, kicking down your door, throwing tear gas into your baby's crib while they're smashing through your windows, all that good stuff. Burning. Yeah. They seem to like to kill children and dogs right away. Never mind the Muslims and their dog issue. The Jews are disgusting when it comes to anything that's innocent and helpless. Pieces of shit. So, and he's saying it right here. This is why it was so important to get to this point. Because utilizing JD Vance, who is a piece of shit, one of them anyway. They're trying to put him on a pedestal right now because they're going to slowly do the whoops. And then you're going to have the guy who's, inches away from the cock of Peter Thiel running the country. You think you're going to slow down Palantir then? You think you're going to slow down flock cameras and surveillance and people watching your lips in your fucking truck? That's just like, and do you think it's going to be isolated to just that brand? You're not going to be able to work on your vehicles. You're going to be impoverished, starving to death long before you have to worry about, what the future holds. The future doesn't hold anything. Not for us. We're not intended to see it. 2030, you're not going to be there. You're not going to be there. I'm not going to be there. If things keep going the way they're going, none of us are going to be there. And this is how they're going to do it right here. Oh, he followed him on this thing. Oh, this is how they categorize human life. It's not about, well, that doesn't seem like a lot of evidence. How could you vilify and categorize and demonize somebody like that? Like, the demons are the demonizers. They can do whatever the fuck they want. They have no scruples. They have no standards. It's, you're not them. Therefore, guilt. You're not them. You pose a threat because they are fucking parasites. And this guy is one of the worst pieces of shit on the fucking planet. And the shit that he spews in just this short segment will make you want to punch your fucking, maybe put your head through a wall. Your own head. Forget your fist. You're going to be banging your head against the fucking wall. Because it's so plain as day. And with that one example, J.D. Vance follows the Tate brothers. As he's going through this list of Jew thought, diabolical Jew thinking in the weaseliest fucking way possible. Somebody should just,
Paul Ingrassia, who was one of their lawyers, is now serving as a White House liaison.
Oh, that's bad, right?
He had previously tweeted that Tate was, quote, the embodiment of the ancient ideal of excellence. That was why he had been targeted by...
Yeah, it's called marketing. It's called, utilizing the stage to promote the person that's making you money. Well, again, this is all based on the assumption, because the Jews are behind this when they've already assumed guilt on these guys simply because somebody said so. So who's behind the accusations already, because he's the one selling it to you without even question that it is so. It's so plain as day what this is that we're seeing. But again, like I said, it's not about them. It's about you. It's about how it affects you and how they are they're going to get from point A to point Z for Zio. And that Z is you. They're going to get you. Tates are the plot device. As is every other person, every other controlled op, even not. It doesn't matter. If you're on a platform that says anything and you're watching and you're commenting and sharing and all this other stuff, and they're building a profile and saying, and then it's not going to take anything. Simply watch time is going to be enough, because they just want the excuse to share with the public while they're still relevant, because you're using the mass of people, the majority of people's stupid opinions against you. The court of public opinion will grant them the power and the permission and cheer them on while they do horrific atrocities to you, and then everybody else will starve to death and be tortured to death. But first, they got to get rid of the potential threats to their plan, which is all of us. And he's stating how they're doing it by giving examples, and I think he's so detached that he doesn't realize that he's giving away the fucking game here.
Quote, the satanic elite that attempts to systematically program and oppress all men. You'll remember that
the satanic elite being the Jews that are trying to oppress all men. So, yeah, that's a fair statement. Right. So you're not denying it, are you, huh? You're just saying that that's anti-Semitic to say it. You know, they don't ever say that's wrong. That's not true. They don't try to justify themselves. They just tell you that it's anti-Semitic, and then you're supposed to be scared and hide under your bed.
President's lawyer, Alina Habba, appeared on a podcast with Tate.
So wait, what is this now? He hangs out with Trump when he's getting his dybbuk from Rabbi Schneerson through the ritual, you know, getting the parasitic dybbuk, disembodied evil spirit, put into him. He's okay to be there with him and Elon at that cemetery, but now he's gonna go after them. Is this what he does? This is a guy who cheered on and was very excited when Charlie Kirk died. I'm not saying that he did it directly, but indirectly. You fuck with the Jew horns, or you fuck with the Jew bull, you get the Jew horns.
Big fan, and then she said she had his back. She then ended up walking that back. Now, is this a coincidence? It's all the same people. It's all the same people. These are.
I feel like I should be smashing myself in the testicles right now, like the intro, rather than listen to this cocksucking piece of shit.
The conspiracy,
and he's over time, like this was never on here as much as it is more recently. You know, the past few years since the war started, he's got to have his little device on the back of his head with the microchip in it.
Theorists. These are the reactionary right, horseshoe theory people.
Really? Oh, everything is dismissed. Yeah, dismiss all those theories because these people support that idea. We fabricated these people out of whole cloth to be controlled up, and they believe this thing that we told them to espouse. But anybody who believes these things are also cracked out. They don't know anything because it's a negative against the Jews. So obviously it can't be true. How can it be true that like Bolshevik? What? No, it was the Nazis. Okay, they're the ones who are mass murderers. God damn it! Don't you wish that was true? Don't you wish that was fucking true by now? At this point?
These are the Jews did the pornography, and did the Holocaust really happen?
No.
Simultaneously?
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. If you're thinking of a Holocaust as in like a mass burnt offering, well, what would you call the Bolshevik Revolution and the mass murder of Russians? Or what they did in Poland, coming up behind on the other end? Or the other atrocities that they blamed on the National Socialists that happened between the borders of Poland and Germany. Yeah, must have been those big bad German people who were trying to not go to war and were just trying to get the fucking parasite off their back. And wow, it's so crazy how much prosperity that country had seen when they did get that parasite and that they pulled that tick out of them. Isn't that amazing? How fast and rapid, like so much prosperity came rushing into their country in such a short period of time. The moment they got that fucking parasite off of them, the financial parasite, the perversion out of there, it's incredible how quickly life improved for everybody and abundance was everywhere. Pretty freaking impressive, especially when you had already looted all of their gold. Isn't that something? You fucking piece of shit.
Hugging Muslim pornographers who allegedly raped white women.
Oh, Muslim pornographers, right. Let's overlook all of the other shit that you guys... Muslim pornographers. Okay, webcams, yeah, you can have your opinions about that. If there's consensual sex and you're making money out of it, I've thought about that when I was in my 20s and 30s. I'm 40s now. But I still think about it if I found some fun chick to do it with. Yeah, why not? You know? So isn't it like every like, you know, young 20-year-old kid's dream, like just fucking all day with hot chicks? Why not? Oh, you can make money off that too? Excellent. That means I can keep fucking because I don't have to go to work. Awesome. Like what who wouldn't think? Like whatever. Consensual is one thing. Pornography, exploitation, child trafficking, child murder, like these people do constantly on a daily basis, they can't stop. There's a big difference there. Big difference. Big difference.
Nick Fuentes immediately tweeted out, free Andrew and Tristan Tate.
Yeah, good.
Immediately. 1.8 million views.
Yeah, but he's also one of your guys. Because again, they're not the target. Fuentes is not the target. He's the plot device. He got 7.5 million from Jews. So how do you think any of this is real? Israel. Yeah.
On X, a
works again.
repository of trash. Well, Nick Fuentes put out another tweet in which again,
He's like blunt stop accent word. It's like the way it's like he's like shitting out words.
he said, quote, it would be a national humiliation for the United States to allow the UK to extradite Andrew and Tristan Tate, two American citizens, over trumped up Me Too charges. He's very defensive of
Right. Well, that's actually correct. And they shouldn't just, oh yeah, fuck those people. But Nick, don't you understand? It's the Jews that are behind the accusations. Just because the Jews are in a different country, they don't have a country. They're a man without a master. They are the Ronin. Don't you know that? Well, if they were a good Ronin, they would already tuck the knife across their own guts and spilled it out. But they're not. The same country that persecutes white people for speech while importing rapist migrants.
these particular American citizens who currently have passports.
Yeah, and you know, this is a slight rate against the old Kalergi plan that is
in the UK and Romania, by the way.
People. Oh yeah, sorry.
The same country that persecutes white people for speech while importing rapist migrants. Now, why don't you notice the actual thing happening here?
Who is he talking to? Do you think anything about this guy is real? Besides Israel? Do you think anybody listens to him anymore? Probably, unfortunately, yes. So who is he actually speaking to? And who's his little beady eye is staring through right at this moment? Who's this spell working on? He's got to tell you what to think. I guess people that need to be told what to think because they can't see it for themselves. He is a demon, and this guy is just such a fucking worthless piece of shit. He's sniveling. He's a weasel. He said some of the most horrifically heartless things in the past, and he continues to do. He and Laura Loomer are absolute jokes of human beings because they're not human beings. They're whatever the hell the Jews are.
Fuentes is constantly claiming to hate pornography. I mean, that's when he's not, having a window open with trans pornography on it. He claims to
see, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? And you don't have to. So here's the whole thing too. Who hates? Even saying the whole thing about hating pornography, and it's like, is that the prerequisite? Because you guys are the merchants of every vice that is debilitating to mankind, harmful, poisonous, or deadly. From alcohol to pornography to prostitution to drugs to pharmaceuticals, which is also poison and deadly, to forced therapies like chemo and radiation. These are all this is the same cult. And gambling. They are behind all of that stuff. Every single vice you can contemplate, every single type of drug, it's not mafia, it's them. And it always has been. They're the ones who can deal in the arenas and in the industries that Christians were always forbidden to tread in. And this is why they always... how perfect is that if they were behind Christianity too, to have the division? No, you're the sacrificial class. All you're supposed to do is go out and fight our wars for us and be our slaves. You're not supposed to make anything off of the industries that we control. This is our monopoly, motherfucker. And this is how they've operated. The only time anything is demonized is when it's a competition to them. The only way and reason you would have a drug interdiction team, it wouldn't be to stop the Jews who run your country from getting their drugs in. It would be to stop the competition. You know, the biggest problem they had with Escobar is that he didn't want to cut them in. So they killed him. And they made you all it made everybody think through movies that was a good thing.
Despise the Jews for supposedly having spread a pornographic culture, despite the fact that Judaism opposes pornography.
Are you out of your fucking mind? Who are you gaslighting with that bullshit? Who are you gaslighting with that bullshit? Who out there believes a fucking word that you say? I've never even put a freaking Ben Shapiro clip on this broadcast in 7+ years. And I think I know why now. Because it's not even in my sphere. These are two separate worlds colliding right now. This is the heart of the fucking, I don't know, the abyss. He's just a fucking idiot.
And finds it a sin.
But do you? Really? Well, wait. What's the bigger sin? Not making enough money off of and crippling I was gonna say, crippling the soul, the spirit, the finances of a goy, ripping apart and stripping them of every last penny, however way you can do so. So if their vice happens to be pornography, is that when it's okay? Because it's harming a goy? Because I'm pretty sure that's really what it's about, right? Money is a measurement of human suffering that you can cause others by having a shit ton of it, because that means you're depriving somebody else of it. This is the only reason why money would even matter. It's not follow the money, it's follow the misery. It's follow the human suffering, because that's what their true metric is. They make the fucking money. Like, they print it. It's fake and bullshit, but with that spell upon us that everybody believes in that spell of money, through which all true wealth, happiness, property can be stolen or destroyed. You can destroy the happiness. You can deprive people in a world of abundance because you've got their heads so entranced with this spell, this idea that you need this certain thing in order to prosper. But you know what's funny about National Socialist Germany? They proved that you didn't need it at all.
He is defending actual honest-to-God pornographers. Tucker, as I've mentioned, devoted hours of airtime proclaiming Tate's innocence.
Yeah, so, yep, just the regular list and cast of characters that they don't like. Okay, so we got out of that what we needed to, right? If you thought my breakdown was a little long, I just had a lot to say about that, so you'll just have to forgive me. So here's something interesting, and I'm gonna just throw this in there, but we'll go back to. So Norway is in flames. There's a pattern here. Patagonia. Oh, anytime there's a. Oh, what happened to Japan when they were trying to maintain and hold and stand their ground? Oh, Fukushima? Is that what they call nuclear blackmail? Why is it that Mossad and fucking IDF type people run security in other people's countries at their power plants? Isn't that kind of like nuclear blackmail in and of itself, that they could just sabotage shit whenever the fuck they want? Who made that up? Oh yeah, Debt did. The IMF did. The Rothschild banking cult did. Everything's operated by proxy. You can have your little Japanese man out in front. You can have your little Chinese man out in front. But you know who the real control is in your country? Same fucking vampiric child-killing cult of parasites. So it happened 2 days after Norway voted to ban all goods and investments linked to illegal Israeli settlements in the West Bank. And then it burned. A wildfire tore through townhouses, destroying hundreds of homes and forcing evacuations. That happened 2 days after that. And that guy says, well, that's weird. Kind of like Argentina and Peru. And Bug Eye Girl here thinks she's saying something new by saying, Israel stole nuclear technology from the United States. Well, actually, no, it was handed to them because it's the same fucking entity. Only on the surface does it look like stolen. Rosenthal bomb, whatever. Yeah, you kill people. That's called optics. They don't care what they do as long as they get what they want. Now, there might have been another piece here. This fucking guy. It's this asshole. Now, watch his response to this and tell me that I've seen a flood of pieces of shit like this. I like I said, I DM'd him fag. It's Luke 7. This motherfucking piece of shit. He's basically echoing the Shapiro take on this. And the reason why I know that this is a fucking setup is because of the already conviction through assumption of somebody like Ben Shapiro, that fucking faggot, that Zionist child killer or promoter of child killers, supporter of child killers to his dying breath, part of the cult himself. To hear him echo it, and the media is run by who again? You're just going to get flooded and inundated by Tates are guilty, in which case, as long as people believe that, anyone associated who's ever been into alpha stuff, which means trying to better, even though these guys are the wrong people to follow, doesn't mean that bettering yourself as a man isn't something that would be attractive to people who want to be better dads, better providers, better earners, better with the ladies, better in health. Anybody who claims that they provide these answers or advice to get them there, obviously it's still going to take the work to be put in. The trap is set because you wanted to better yourself, really? And the people who are posing, just as always, as the solution aren't the solution. Well, people who pose as the controlled as the opposition to bad things are the controlled op very often. This piece of shit who, at times, with his little gay fucking, charades things that he does, says some decent points. But now they're echoing. They're going to all sing together. There's going to be a chorus across social media because they need you to believe that the Tates are already guilty so that anybody associated with that type of sphere can be vilified, can be categorized, can be labeled, and can be, considered a domestic terrorist or an anti-Semite or whatever the fuck else. And they've already, with that nigger Heil Hitler shit, they've already conflated the two of alpha male means Nazi because they were singing that song. And they are always singing the same fucking tune. They were singing the song, and they, and then they, two separates, always singing the same fucking tune. Anti-Semite, we're the victims. Now listen to this fucking faggot echo the same sentiment as Shapiro. Look at his, it's like a fucking old woman. Look at his smile. Look at that fucking grimace. Yeah, I'm going to make $7,000 right now. He tips his hat to him. Wait till he has his chimp out. His white chimp out.
And just like that, the Odyssey has competition for best thing I've seen all weekend.
Fuck you, you fucking faggot. The Odyssey has competition? Isn't the Odyssey the one where they had that trans chick, whatever, the fucking girl from Juno, who cut off her tits and thinks she's a boy now? Wasn't she in that movie? So this is up right up there with the bad casting decisions to change genders and ethnicities of people and then just desecrate historical or at least classical pieces of work.
because Andrew Tate and his shit-stained brother Tristan have been arrested.
Wow, what are you, buddy? What are you? You fucking faggot piece of shit.
In Miami, and all I have to say is good fucking riddance. Before I read you all of the heinous shit that these motherfuckers are being charged with by
Yeah, charged with. That's it. And reflexively, if they're being charged with more than one, it must be true. All right. This guy is a fucking loser.
United Kingdom, I want to remind you all that the
You sound like the voice that Owen Benjamin does when he's making fun of other people, but that's actually what you are aspiring to be. I don't even need to say anything. This guy is just a joke. He is acting so hard. He reminds me of those people that you see on those 7-second vines. Story time. This fucking homo.
President and the White House fought tooth and fucking nail to make sure that these motherfuckers could come back in the United States. They made sure of it. I want you to remember that.
Yeah, yeah, remember that, but forget about the Epstein files. Got it, buddy. Andrew Tate, 39, hit with 7 further counts of rape. Yeah. Charges. Stay in court. If you weren't unhinged more than a freaking liberal cultural Marxist is, you would be like, yeah, well, wishing something is true about something because I don't like them isn't the same as it being true. And boy, would I hate if somebody influenced, encouraged someone else to say things bad about me, and then the whole entire system was rigged against us because the people doing the accusations are actually part of the system, but they're using, they're influencing or paying or scaring people into testimony that is false against us, only so that they need somebody to say it to bounce it off of. But in reality, it's already been settled that they're going to do something to us. Boy, that would really suck if that was me. Boy, I sure wouldn't want that to happen. I don't want the system itself to be so, in the word that they would use, fascist. Why would I want a world like that where the uncertainty is if someone doesn't like you, they can do this to you, and it's political. You're a political prisoner and you're destroyed as a human being because they're part of the same entity. They don't give a fuck. It's so funny how these people, what's funny is I love it. I'm going to love it when the people who are enabling this type of diabolical wickedness, the day will come when they realize that there's no guarantees and there's no loyalty, and you don't get anything from these. The moment they want, you're done too. You're gone. You're going to be in worse shape than the people that you were helping them to get, and it's going to be too late for the people that you helped them get. But it's not gonna. You're gonna feel just as awful, tortured just as much. And Tristan Tate, 38, was charged with 1 count of sexual assault, 2 counts of rape, and 3 counts of arranging or facilitating trafficking for sexual exploitation, according to the CPS. Okay, how many Jews are on that board? How much pressure was put on him by who? Do you understand how this is just really fucked up? And this motherfucker here, he's already celebrating because of somebody else's misery. Very Jewish of him to do so, wouldn't you say?
Andrew Tate is being charged with an additional 7 counts of rape, 3 counts of...
Can you take a guy like that seriously? I always thought his 3 adjectives were too much, but when he was actually saying things that weren't retarded, I put up with it because I'm like, is that what he's doing so that people with short 5-second attention spans listen to him for a minute? I guess. I'm sure there's better ways. I've never been able to bring myself to do the stupid things. This is prostitution, in my opinion. When you're, and it's also insulting to the viewer. It's like saying that you all out there are retarded, and they usually talk like that too. Like they're smarter than everybody because they know some little nugget, and they don't even know how to apply that nugget with their own discernment. Like they don't know how their comprehension is so low that they don't even know where that fits in the grand scheme of things. But they're the first to point out that everybody else is stupid except for them, because they have to position themselves that way. It's worse than prostitution. It's very dishonest. It's very disingenuous, and it's very shallow, superficial, and hollow. The thing that you see doing this little dance, it's all acting. It's all acting. They're pieces of shit on the other side of that. And I've encountered people in the DM conversations like, "Hey man, what's up? You want to come on?" And they're like, "Come on the show," and they were like, "Oh, you're dead. I got this founding." I'm like, "Oh, dude, I wasn't like trying to like, you know." I'm like, I don't get paid for what I do. I enjoy sharing information with people. Oh, well, I'm not going to do this for you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, fine. You know, I thought you were like a real person who actually had a message and you wanted more people to hear it. And, you know, every time you do that, you get more exposure, and it actually helps everything else too. You need me to pay you for something that I don't get paid for? You can go fuck yourself. And then, or they would insult, you know, there's a lot of people that are cool, down with it. But then there's a lot of people who you realize they're not the thing that you see in their short little videos where they can be anything that they want to be for that period of time, because they're selling you a persona that is not real, and then you understand that they're put out there by something else to fill that spot, so that people who are real don't have. They're taking jobs, basically. They're taking jobs from people who are real because they're being funneled through your recommendations. They're being propped up by the demons of the media, social media, and all types of media, to be in a spot so that people who actually have an organic or a true or an honest or an uncontrolled, like not controlled by them, worldview or understanding of history or understanding of the present aren't filling those spots. There's too much of the other guy or the other set of people swallowing up all the recommendations, swallowing up all the views that you as the honest or organic or natural human being. And this is also to discourage other people from believing anything too, or believing that there's hope, is that they don't see anybody who's sincere. They only see the guy who seems like he's got some cracks. Like you get this bullshit instead of a normal person. It's like, how could you imagine having a conversation when the guy goes, it's so feminine. It's so feminine. It's like, you really, really must miss drama class, because I think that or maybe you came late to the party and you didn't get to do drama. Maybe you were beat up because you tried, and they're like, no, you're going to play football, you faggot. And now you're making up for it in your 20s, huh?
Facilitating trafficking for sexual exploitation. 3 counts of assault involving bodily harm.
Yeah, these are all accusations. Again.
And 19 additional charges for offenses involving indecent images of children and extreme pornography.
That sounds like a plant. That sounds like something that can easily plant on you.
His brother Tristan is being hit with 1 count of sexual assault, 2 counts of rape, and 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know, it's funny that you brought up children and exploitation and pictures. Did you see the 3.5 million pages of shit with other redactions in it? Why would they be allowed to redact something like that? Why would they be needing to redact something like that? Were they afraid that the docile, medicated public was going to get up and do something with tiki torches and pitchforks? Because it didn't happen. Why are we not worried about the people who actually operate our country, that actually have an influence on our daily lives, and the demonic cult of child killers that enables it all and informs it all, that it's the network itself was based in Epstein. He wasn't Irish. But why are we not focusing on that? Or any number of other high-profile billionaire fucking pieces of shit that are doing the same thing presently, or contemporary to Epstein. But why aren't we focusing on that? We just got to go. If you're so upset about that one aspect of it, You got a lot of other people here that are a lot closer to you that actually have an effect on your daily life who pass laws. You're a fucking joke, dude.
Counts of facilitating trafficking for sexual exploitation. And these are the people that Donald Trump...
Does this guy sound sincere with this hyperventilation? Over, it's like, I gotta be really dramatic. Okay. Yeah, give it your all. These are the type of people who should have, like, you would think, high blood pressure and an aneurysm or a heart attack, a stroke, stroking out in the middle of doing one of these videos.
Welcomed back into this fucking country.
I think he actually takes himself seriously.
I hope they put them under the fucking jail.
Yo, wow, that's funny that he said that, right? Because what did we see from that Coach Greg thing? Is that the trend now to say under the jail? I mean, I know that's a phrase, but it's awfully funny that he ended with that, isn't it? It's almost like it's an echo chamber. It's like they're just trying to plant the seed in your head. Boy, that's really funny, isn't it? That's really funny that he would say that. What a coinky dink. What a fucking coinky dink. Now let's remind each other here. What they do to our children, what we must do to them. And remember, it was 5 years ago that I started saying we need to go Vlad the Impaler on these motherfuckers. And I was talking about Jesuits. I was talking about child harmers. I didn't even say the J word back then, but it applies. It applies to the source of the evil. J word being Jews, of course, or the cult of child killers, as I like to call it. The problem? Well, yeah, but there's also everything about America for the last 160 years. You can personify it in that. The solution. And I actually said this before it became a fucking meme. I bet you actually on Odyssey you'll be able to find some of those videos where, Vlad the Impaler, they got the point, or I think there was. I would hope that they're still up there. I know for a fact it's probably been like 4 or 5 years ago that I was saying this. I think it was before or right during my Revolution Radio days, which was a long time ago. Holy hell. There's only one way to eradicate the sodomizer Epstein class. Right. And you know how they did this? Yes, of course, right up the rectum. But in a way, and it was very slow, in a way that they didn't puncture any organs, so that, sometimes they usually pop out like your clavicle, clavicular style. It missed everything, but man, was that painful, yeah? And it's a slow death. I've gone over Vlad the Impaler details quite a lot. And every so often, I do a refresher on it because the man was in the Order of the Vanquished Dragon. People say it's the Order of the Dragon. No, it was Order of the Vanquished Dragon. You know who the dragon was? The treasure dragon over there, Edward? The dragon was Balder. The dragon was Loki. The dragon was Apollyon. They were the Order of the Vanquished Dragon. They were celebratory of what happened and was retold. They probably didn't have much of a connection to the pre-Sumerian story, but the retellings of it through cultures all the way up until now, that's what they were referring to. The little piece that they couldn't kill, as far as like from the writing, from the regurgitation, they can manipulate that though, give people the wrong impression of who's who, which is usually typically what they do with those types of things, the little cult that they are. But the Order of the Vanquished Dragon also shows, and the Dracul dragon. It was a Christian sect. And people always say, no, it's the Order of the Dragon. No, it's the Order of the Vanquished Dragon. You kind of get the same symbology or symbolism out of Don't Tread on Me and the snake chopped up. Extreme problems? Notice how they don't... Oh, okay, they do have Judaism there. Cool. Good. As long as we're okay with that. Yeah. Require extreme solutions. My dilemma is, and I say it because did I ever tell you about that time that some asshole crawled into our window while we were there? Rebecca and I at our old apartment in New York. I'm in New York, on Willie James Jones Boulevard. They've named after a kid who got shot because the Four Corners of Death were just right up the road, like the next block over from us. We were surrounded by the blacks, and they were cool. That's because we lived in the same neighborhood. So they were like, we had each other, they had our backs and shit like that. They would always, if somebody was from a different street, they would get all fucking up on arms. I'm not talking about YNs. I'm talking about older people, but there were some YNs that would patrol, but if you lived in the developments, like they did this, like you were in their territory as one of them, so they didn't fuck with you. But anyway, there was some bullets flying every once in a while. Hey, rent was cheap, and I didn't know the neighborhood at the time. So somebody crawled into the window of our bedroom one time, and we were in the kitchen doing something, and one of our neighbors was like, "Hey, it's like I caught this guy crawling in the window," and we go look in the bed, and Rebecca's little jewelry box, like with the little drawers, was all opened up, and the guy like stole like pennies worth of costume jewelry, basically, but we had him all yoked up and pinned up against an SUV until the cops came. When the cops came, they're like, "Well, did you see him come through the window?" And he was like, "Well," and he was trying to get the guy on something, right? Because he wanted to. So he was basically coaching us to lie, and I didn't catch it at first because what do you expect? I'm oblivious to corruption sometimes. At least back then I was. It's like I'm not thinking that this guy's going to be trying to tell us or coach us on how to say the right thing so the guy can be thrown in jail for the evening or whatever. And he's like, "My dilemma is," and he had his hands up like this, the cop, every time. And Rebecca, like later on, was like joking about it. And it's been our joke for the last fucking 11 years. Like, my dilemma here is, it's like, if you didn't see him, are you sure you didn't see him come in? And he's like, we scared him out of there. We came towards the bedroom, and that's when he, and then they grabbed him up on top of it. It was just kind of funny. It was like, well, my dilemma here is you have to have seen him. It's like, oh shucks, we did. And like, no, just say you did, idiot. It's like, oh, okay. Paying taxes to a corrupt empire, sending your children to be slaves, allowing Jewish and Muslim political control. Well, don't forget about the as much as we hate the light bulb headed ones, we don't like the ones that smell of curry and animal feces either, do we? If they're, I don't know, killing babies because they're getting certificate milled, all kinds of diplomas that they never earned, and then they come over here and they don't have to prove their skills before they start operating on you. You know what I mean? Allowing Jewish and Muslim political control, fighting against the Satanic Empire. There you go. Vlad the Impaler. We have broken our peace with the Ottomans. Not for our own benefit. Oh, by the way, you know who was the facilitator of all white human trafficking for the Ottoman Empire? I'll give you a hint. It wasn't the Italians. Not for our own benefit, for the preservation of Christianity. Humanity would have been better. How Christian men must be. Our politics, deportation, take too long. Hear me out. Our physique. Well, that guy doesn't look all that built, but I mean, I got you. Make no peace with evil. Exactly. And that's kind of like the whole, if you go back to like before somebody else translated it for you and listen to like what our little worst fly fisherman Asian friend here on Instagram has to say. When you just apply Juker to it, the whole, whatever came out of it was the basic. If you want to read it that way, you can, even if they're trying to sell you this adversary Satan thing. And it's like, no, those are the people. The lying liars who lie, who bring pestilence and death and poisoning to all. These aren't supernatural things. These are them. That's what we were told that we need to eliminate. And whether Jesus was real or not, I guarantee you he was a composite of a bunch of Gothic Aryan Greek people that they were stealing from the texts and the writings that were there, present, and available to these pieces of shit at the time, to at least give them the attributes of past heroes if he wasn't created out of whole cloth. And I'm not saying he was created out of whole cloth. I'm just saying they usually like to venerate or how do you say, like what's the word? Honor someone who was by giving some sort of mythological or legend to him, you know, like exaggeration or certain attributes that were carried over by, oh, this king did this wonderful thing over here. We're going to say that he did something similar, and that's going to be the way people will, you know, associate this great deed with this guy, and it'll stick longer, and people will understand why we should venerate this human being. They do that often. So it's not even necessarily to be done in a negative way to lie and deceive. It's more like, hey, this guy is all those things, you know, he lines up with the stars and all this other shit. But I guarantee you that was coming from Gothic Aryan people. And where did he show up? Did he show up in the Bronx? That wasn't it. According to mainstream history, the Bronx wasn't the Bronx yet back then. Did he show up in, I don't know, Australia? No. Did he show up in any fucking other place besides where he showed up? Right, because he was a messenger. I'm just saying, these are all hypotheticals. If this, then that. Then he showed up in a place where he needed to do some business. He needed to deliver the message. You guys are fucking out of control. You're demonic. You're evil. You're from your father, the devil. If you don't shape the fuck up, this is your last warning. Last chance. We're giving it. We're taking the honorable higher road here and giving you one last chance to stop the shit. And we, as fellows of that man, we're supposed to have his back. And this is why the story is all convoluted and fucked up, right? So when they killed the messenger, and that was their answer. That was okay. That was your last chance. What we should have done after that was, I don't know, parasite cleanse. Right? We're 2,000 years late. Parasite cleanse. Evil has no place in this world if we want to raise our children without fear of predation. Enough is enough. This isn't how the life has to be. It's not going to get boring if everything's always wonderful. I promise you. It's not going to get boring if everybody has abundance and they can go and do things that, you know, fulfill them and give them a sense of purpose, like being with their family more often, not being torn apart by the manipulations and the programming and the mind control of schooling by pieces of shit or social media. Wouldn't it be greater if you were on a boat with your kids fishing or camping or going on a nice long road trip in a nice big RV? Because you're just, these are the things. Let's go find an adventure, kids. Let's go have some fun. Yeah? Yeah, would that be horrible if the world was like that for everybody? Would that be such a bad thing? If you still have the need to share every moment of your life on something like this, at least you know you were doing it in a world that's not full of predators, or that whatever predators are left have seen what happens when you act like that by our example. Just that's why Vlad was so damn freaking effective. Because when you see what happens to people who are pieces of shit trying to harm his territory, sliding down these long pikes, you think twice about being an asshole around him. You think twice about trying to be an aggressor or do some harm to his territory or the population of the villagers under his guard. Remember, that's how the rulers used to rule. They were the big brother. They were the fucking cock of the barn, the rooster of the barn. Not so much anymore. Now they're turning inward, and because we're prisoners, and this is a Jewish thing. This was taught to them by this cult to have a captive audience. The panopticon of surveillance is being installed. If it's not, it's pretty damn fully installed as it is, but data centers, this and that, and to terrorize, impoverish, predate, and siphon out every last bit of wealth from the people who you're supposed to protect. If any country that you live in tells you you're not supposed to have firearms, that's like saying in a different time period, they don't want you using an axe, a sword, or a bow and arrow. Why the fuck not? Or a crossbow. Why not? Aren't you supposed to be able to, at a moment's notice, defend your territory from outsiders? Well, yes. But if the evil has gained all of the territories that would possibly, conceivably be intruders, then there is no true enemy from without. There's only an enemy within. There are no boogeymen because they control all those territories that stir up fucking trouble in the first place, including the place that you live. And actually beginning, for the most part, in the more modern times, with the place that we live. We were the base of operations. It moved from the Bank of England, City of London, to the Federal fucking Reserve. We have been the base of operations for the Bolshevik Revolution, for the carpet bombing of stupidity that makes us believe that World War I was the Great War, and World War II, where we destroyed all true, all from the same source. There could have never been a Soviet Union. There could have never been a Bolshevik Revolution. There could have never been a destruction of Germany the way it was done. There could have never been 2 Versailles treaties that were horrible to Germany if it wasn't for America first being captured and conquered. And how'd they do that? Inner conflict, civil war, debt, lots of murder, and God knows whatever the fuck else happened, because there was a world here of beautiful architecture, intricate Roman-esque style shit. And don't even get me started on what they may or may not have found in the Grand Canyon here. And then all of a sudden we are back to bullshit square box buildings made out of fucking paper mache and particle board and some drywall. Give me a motherfucking break, dude. Built to be disposable, built to be easily swept away so that there's no trace of this era, of this time period. A lot easier to get into a reset mindset with people if you don't have to chisel away at the hard stone of true architecture. Now, I wasn't trying to go down this road just yet. I was going to go back over to, I really don't want to. Fuck's sake. Can we stomach any more of this fag, or has a point been made? Let's go back to the chat. Actually, you know what? I'm going to play a little something for you before that. I got to find it, because I'm going to pee my pants if I don't. I can't believe they fucking muted it on Odyssey. What a bunch of shit. Like, it's even playing right here, like, wasn't it? Yeah. You notice that? Oh, that's funny that the guy who was just singing the country song with the Tate brothers there, I don't think Myron was singing along. He doesn't seem like he's sitting there anymore. No, he got up and walked the fucking way from them. How about that? How about that? Hey, look, I'm a relevant people. They wanted to let me know that I'm on the platform in case I forgot while I'm on the platform. That was nice of them. Okay. I didn't even consider the alpha equals Nazi motif in this specific instance. Good catch. It's not so much a specific instance, it's a building up. These are building blocks as they go to their destination. These are the steps to the top. And then you're supposed to jump off. Or maybe it's like you you're Mario, and you got the steps, and then you jump and try to hit the top of the flags for more points. Got to get that 5K or 50K, whatever the fuck it was. I don't remember. Speaking of 50K, that's probably a decent amount. I think I could probably get my van mostly fixed because I got the freaking doors and the windows slide down and all this shit. And they're shimmed up right now. But whatever the case may be with the rest of it, like the AC issue, I think a lot of this is just I need probably, and I hope this is the case and not something worse now since not being able to fix it for so long. But it's like a tune-up, like all spark plugs. Just get the coils, need them or not, and then injectors, fuel pump. I'm thinking if that was done, then the majority of the problems, especially with the power, like going up hills, like all the fucking issues I'm having that are scary to me, because I know that I don't have what I need in order to fix it, and that's my mode of transportation to deliver hot sauce in San Diego. And when I get those orders, they make the rent and all of our bills in that one shot. So it's like not being able to do that would be very bad. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to be doing there. But yeah, I don't think it would take that much. And I don't think it would take that much. But to have that so that maybe I could put a little bit more into other issues that it would just make the long rides more comfortable, But yeah, because when they did the AC, the fucking idiots didn't set it up the way it was supposed to be, because only the front AC works with cold air. The back one doesn't. And so my daughter likes the bench seat. So it's like, the fuck, guys. Can't get anything right. All right, let's see. We got edit a page. It's a coincidence. Oh, don't do that. Whenever I hear people say think, I'm thinking the first thing that pops in my head is when people were trying to like repeat the pattern or emulate the pattern of like a QAnon drop. Think this, think that. It's like I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm just saying that's echoes in my head from the so many people who are they would just talk in QAnon fashion like Riddler. Oh my god. Both human and ape trafficking. Well, hold on, we're at. Yeah, I think we're here. Money. Well, I get the NFT thing. All right, gotta get to bed. Says Serbian Bull. Good night, buddy. Oh yeah. Well, good luck on that. I think you're in the middle of it, right? Did it start yet? Your aviation week that you're doing. Good luck with that, bud. That looks cool. Karen R. Peterson said, "99." Edward said, "Could be Sketsky." We're doing a public kidnapping for the news, so everyone back it up. That's what I heard. Looks a tick stage to me. And then she made fun of my mastic gum. Thank goodness they had a press area set up for the questions too. I'm sticking with a show arrest for now. I don't know. Can't believe anything anymore. That's true. So-called best promotion. Oh my god. So torture is a human right. I said N-word. T Brothers, welcome to America, the land of the opportunity. Yeah, there you go. Karen says, good with N-word. Sorry, I've been busy setting up N-word's OnlyFans page. Lego deep tissue foot massage surprise. Yeah, exactly. Whoa, what? Karen? I swear you told me to set it up for you. Everybody laugh and clap for the puppet show. Karen says, gives an entirely different meaning to the song Send in the Clowns. These clowns have badges and guns and stuff. And Edward said, they'll catch you on film gazing out your window and narrate that you're contemplating genocide, and the audience guzzles it. Right, exactly. It's good that we caught him while he was doing nothing, because he was going to do this. This is what they say all the time. Just like Iran was going to do this. This country was going to do that. How do we know? Intelligence. Schizophrenia, paranoia, or the fact that you just want them dead and you're looking for any excuse to get the sheeple is a wrong word because it's just overdone, but you get it. Those things. Am I on the wrong side still? I've been on the wrong side the whole fucking time. Oh my god, I don't even know where I am anymore. So when we were looking at Instagram shit, I was layered over the top of it. Sometimes I wonder. I don't know what I'm wondering because I fucked that up too. First Fire says JD Vance has 3 names and is backed by Palantir. Exactly. He's the guzzler, and that should tell you just how close that the implementation of the Dark Enlightenment is by Yarvin and Teal, who's a super jerker fan of him. Curtis Yarvin lines up pretty well with Yuval Harari too. Karen Peterson, yep, is one is Bauman. Karen, I wasn't supposed to tell the name of Daniel's new short run hot sauce, but I can't help it now. It's called Ziozinger. The ancient, and where someone says the ancient ideal of excellence. Shapiro is as much of an LLM. A large language model as any Jew, yes. It's a coincidence. Or coincidence. There we go. Coincidence. I don't know why I kept on adding an extra syllable. Karen says, I was thinking about grabbing a vomit bucket. Thanks for the unwanted bulimia, Shapiro. Karen says his eyebrows might be real. Those are very Sephardic, aren't they? Turf Jockey. The only people who still listen to Shapiro are Zio boomers. So eventually his audience will not be around anymore? Or do you think there's... I don't know. I hope so. I mean, I don't hope that... You get what I mean. That they don't have support like this. Maybe that's why the rush... Maybe that's the whole reason behind the big rush to accomplish all their goals and blow up the entire world and blame it on somebody else and Samson option the surface of the planet. It's because once the boomers are dead, they don't have any support anymore. Whoa. There's a... Gee, that wasn't good. There's a buzzing. Like, wow, that was... As soon as I said that. Oh, man. It's like a buzzing. It's gone now. It was like... Did you ever see the very last album... Our song on the album, Einema? From Tool? And if you listen to it in headphones or if you have surround sound... You hear what sounds like electrical, like zzz, and when it goes like around, and if you have headphones on, it feels weird in your head too. That's what was just happening. Beginning of that song, you just see like the electric zzz, 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 zzz. Shapiro says, "I can't believe my own." I can't. Sorry, I'll start again. Edward Someone says, "Shapiro, I can't believe my beady little eyes." Karen says, "And bots." And Edward says, "As a firm believer of lies." Karen says, "I made a mistake. The new short run hot sauce is Zapper." No, it's neither of those things. Stop it. Hello, Turf Jockey. Edward Someone says, "I'm pretty sure Shapiro's been using PEDs. It seems like his voice lowered and he got more facial hair." No, they always have facial hair. But PEDs, I think he just got fat, honestly. He's got like chipmunk cheeks. He kind of looks like I don't know, sort of like a friend of mine, but then my friend was Native American and an actual Polish, not Jewish Polish. Karen said, "What part of Norway?" To who? Oh, the fire? I don't know. So what we normally think of as act of God or acts of Team Satan? Mm-hmm. That would make us heretics. It's team Ball, right? They even tell you Ball is the OG geoengineer, right? He is HARP, goddammit, or things like it. He's the ionospheric heater. Karen Peterson says, N-word sounds about right. Surf Jockey says, I put nothing past them. N-word says, El Page? What an actor, says First Fire. The Page? Oh, are you talking about the Luke guy? Karen says, to help support the show. Yes! Do it! I'll know if you didn't. Surf Jockey says, they use up their golems, then throw them into the golem. I think, yeah, that's funny because there's the golem that they're talking about in the Michael Collins Piper book, and they're like, oh, the golem is the nuclear plan, the nuclear what do you call it? Project, nuclear weapons project. I'm like, no, it isn't. No, it's America. It's anything that they occupy as a, they're just, and so is AI, right? It's like you command prompt it to do something and it does it. You command if the cult tells America to go sick them, we sick them, right? It's the same thing. We are the golem. At least our weapons of war are. Turf Jockey. Okay, so Turf Jockey says the Tates are nothing more than golems that are there to push degeneracy and keep young men on the Mammon plantation. But it's disguised as empowerment. And you know what? They don't promote like pornography. They were into it. They made it. Yeah. But I don't know if they actually say, "Hey, bitches be whores," do they? And they're usually, well, I don't know enough about it to give you a statement, but they're, from what I've seen, they typically like to be tough on the male, and still bad advice, a lot of it, because it's overlooking a whole lot of shit because he's dopey, but it's way better than Wes Watson's advice, but with more of a structured point to it all, not just yelling at people because they call you out or they ask you questions. We don't be such a pussy. Like if that person didn't need help, they probably wouldn't be spending hundreds of dollars on your coaching. So maybe that's the reason why they're asking you questions. Yeah, it's fucking idiot, Wes. And then you would like block them and keep their money. He was a piece of shit. But yeah, Tate has made some pretty silly statements in the past, and I think that people have done a breakdown on him before. It's been fun to watch that sometimes, but it's usually geared towards male improvement. Enver Stone says he's hysterical. Someone should slap him and tell him, get a hold of yourself. Karen Peterson says, yep. Oh, that guy. Yeah, the guy in the car. Yep, you did. I remember you saying it. Yeah, Treasure Dragon. I think we're done vomiting from Shapiro. Yeah. I had it up there because there was some stupid shit he says, and he makes fun of his clothes too. Because this is what Jews do. Every little thing. All right? How dare you say anything about any of their fucking weirdness, or the fact that they bring strings around their neighborhoods so they can carry on a Sabbath, Saturn, Satan, Demiurge, Kronos, right? Yeah. God forbid you talk about how weird that is. Oh, they don't control anything, yet everything that's kosher isn't as poisoned as the goy stuff, right? Yeah, that's just coincidental. Don't worry about it. Just buy the kosher shit. Right. That's the solution. It's probably cursed by a demonic rabbi. Doesn't affect them, but it'll affect you. Yeah, I did want to be on the other side of the screen. Unfortunately, I didn't see that until just now. The impaled would. I don't see the screen through. Like if I go onto OBS, then I can't scroll on the actual tab. So I can't pause a video when it's over, so replay again. So I have to be out of I have to be out of the studio section of the OBS, so I can't be. I don't see it. I just don't see it unless I have a fucking phone there. But the phone was set up for in case people wanted to call tonight, so I didn't turn on the video. I will turn myself over once we're done doing the chat, because right now I'd be covering that up. The impaled would scare a lot of mentally healthy people. Yeah, we've watched videos and show the process and how it was like very meticulous. Some people who, I guess this was a popular thing back in the day, which is awesome, and so and I don't know if it's there's not just bad in that, because it proves what you're willing to do and what you'll do to people who are pieces of shit, and it sends a very powerful message. So it's a very good tool to use against people who will not behave themselves simply because it's the right thing to do. No matter how much you want them to do that, they have to be free, they have to be fearful of their own lives, and then they'll behave, at least for a while. So the impale, but as I was saying, is that there's ways to do it that kill the people too quickly, and then there's ways that Vlad had like perfected that it would miss every vital organ, and they would slide down slowly and be very painful death, and that's the way he liked it. Right up the old anus, though. Edward Snowman says the impaled would scare a lot of people, a lot of mentally healthy people. But human sacrifice is known to be an aphrodisiac for some communities. Maybe they can make babies until they have an army. Karen says, well, after you read the chats, Karen said, what happened? Looked painful. All these mainstream people are saying it's all Cuba's fault now. With Russia and then China, now Cuba. It's definitely the Eskimos. Those cold-handed, cold-hearted sons of bitches.
I'm going to name a bunch of things they used to.
Yeah, they won't go together, but I'm going to conflate them so that you think one somehow speaks to the other when they're completely unrelated. And just because one thing over here does something and I associate it with this other thing, because I've now associated the two, they're all bad. This is what he does his whole show.
To get you kicked out of polite society. Being a pornographer. Hitting
Oh, wow, really? So all the Jews, get the fuck out then. All the Jews, get the fuck out. You take you and your freaking caterpillar eyebrows and get the fuck out of here.
18-year-old girl with a belt on camera in essentially a sexual fetish video. Bragging about teaching men to pimp hoes.
Sorry. It's better to fuck a 3-year-old. My bad. Yeah, you got it. You got the moral high ground on that one, buddy.
Bring women into posing nude on camera for your own financial gain.
What do you think OnlyFans is, you fucking dude? Seriously? Like 17 seconds and I already want to kill the guy. On Grand Theft Auto. Or Minecraft.
Running a grift business where you convince ignorant young men that if they post...
Oh, that's the big sin? That's why they should go to jail? If people want to give their money to coaching stuff, and regardless if they get any value out of it or not, they can always choose to stop getting the coaching advice, or maybe they do. He's got a 90-degree elbow there for his mic. It's a really strange setup, and he's pretty far away from it, so I don't think it's dynamic. That's got to be like a what they call the other kind, the condenser mic, right? Because it wouldn't have to be close up like this if it was. Yeah, no, you can kind of see the little stick in the side there. Yeah, that's definitely a condenser. I'm pretty sure.
Videos of you shirtless in your Romanian warehouse with fancy cars.
Oh, that's a little bit specific now, right? So he's doing this buildup of why they're the great Satan. Deflection. It's like when you are him and you represent a people like he does, which is it's a very unique group of people, because I don't know anybody else who looks like a human, but is the personification of everything that's evil in the world. And they are doing their very best to like conceal it. And sometimes they're not doing, they don't give a shit if they're concealing it or not. But when you're talking about coming from that position where you are the personification of evil, for you to be judging, classifying, demonizing others, it falls on deaf ears for me, and it's a great insult, and it's an admission of how convoluted and it's not self-deluded. You would imagine that they know that they're full of shit, but in my mind it was through. Like, it's that kind of shit, right? At what point do you just say, okay, there's no use for this hunk of meat with this thing that's doing this and that and making noise? There's no use for it in this world. Maybe there's a place for them on some other planet where they can abuse and destroy and harm things, or not harm things because they have nothing to abuse or destroy except each other, and let them just go at it and be like piranhas and eat themselves to death. But not here. Not here. This is not the place for them.
Cigars with a bunch of clout-chasing women in the background, they will get rich, teaching those same young men that all women are trash. And
so this whole video is about
people
them
who did such things like this, used to be unwelcome.
Right. Wow. He's very desperate to shift the attention away from his people committing a fucking genocide and every other fucking thing, starting and plotting the very same type of Bolshevik, digital Cheka Bolshevik genocide here on us. Andrew Tate bad because Muslim. This is what we're going with. OnlyFans style webcam thing. Consensual. But all these things that he's using as character, these aren't crimes. They're not crimes. So when they're accused of something, it has to be proven. Just because they're being accused by a corrupt system, the system's corrupt no matter what the validity of the accusations are. So it doesn't become less corrupt or more corrupt. It's their system. How did you get in there in the first place? Cops abusing your rights. Or agents pretending that they're G.I. Joe.
Welcome to dinner. Unwelcome at church. Unwelcome in the halls of power. And unwelcomed by important and influential voices shaping our politics and our culture.
Oh, are you one of those people?
No longer. But here is the thing. Sin has consequences. Against them.
Oh my God. Can you believe the fucking lack of self-awareness on a guy like this saying that sin has consequences? This guy has been supportive and screaming and crying and begging for more child genocide, more child death, more bombing of fucking Gazans. Kill them all. He's not saying it that way, but he is saying it. How does he stay around? How does something not fall from the sky? Like a boulder. How does this fucking guy still here? How is he here? Wait, let's wait for the insults.
59 criminal charges, including child and extreme pornography, rape, and sexual assault.
Yeah, that sounds like things that Jews are really, and feds are really, really well known for when it comes to the stuff on a computer of doing that themselves or claiming that it was after the fact, like having a drop bag. You know what a drop bag is? I think they call it that. When the cops go, oop, oh, look at this, drugs. So you're saying that a cop was walking around with illegal drugs that he would bust you for on his persons until it became convenient to boop when he's trying to arrest you? Oh, look at this.
I'll explain all the details, why this is
happening.
happening.
Yeah. You got to explain the rule to us. Thanks, Ben. Thank you, man. I didn't know what to do with my own discernment and observational skills and comprehension level. Yeah.
What comes next? But far more importantly, I want to talk about why these two obvious
scumbags. See how these two obvious scumbags. I don't know if Ben has ever even spoken about these people before, but I know he's been activated to do so now. And why? Yeah, I'm sure he said something about it because of the nigger Heil Hitler thing in the first place. But why do you think that whole event was put together? Because they were going to use it at some point, and this is exactly where I and Ryan were talking about it would be heading, and this is exactly where it's heading. You guys should follow, subscribe, and throw friggin' buy me a coffee money at me for that alone. For that alone, just throw it at me. I gotta fix my van.
Bags and grifters were welcomed into polite society, championed as heroes and as truth tellers, because a society that embraces sin destroys itself. We'll get to
Oh my God, dude. Seriously, if you don't believe the lies of the Jews and you believe the truth and the facts of the matter, that's sin. Doesn't matter who's saying the truth. They can have everything else wrong with them. If they're saying anything that is truthful, remember, Tate got on Patrick Bet David stupid show, PBD, Peanut Butter and Jelly, PBD. And apparently his groveling to the Jew wasn't sufficient because now here he is for the fucking song that he wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, why'd you go out there and do that in the first place? A lot of points lost for Mr. Alpha Man, Mr. Top G. It doesn't matter what you think of his programs. I can criticize him because I don't need them. And then nobody really does. They just need to be told to get their asses in gear and do the things that they are. And some people are more clueless than that. Obviously, that's why they're paying the money for it in the first place. But that's not a crime, and that's not like, hey, if they want to run it and people want to give them money, what's the fucking problem? It's all consensual, just like the other shit that you're talking about. But if you don't believe the Jewish lies and the Jewish perception of the fucking world, you're a sinner. He's saying it over and over again, what they're planning to do. They're framing this out. I need to watch more of this and just constantly go over how he is giving away the whole plot. And I guarantee you, and this is not something I want to be right about, but when we're all being marched to our death up the conveyor belt into the slaughterhouse, which will probably look a lot like a data center, these are the things that they were going to be using, and it'll be like, hey, wow, yeah, they were seeding into the minds of the masses to support them in the killing of all the intellect. All the people who are able to see through their bullshit will be the first ones to go. They're not going to use asylums this time. For those who won't accept the reset terms, they're just gonna torture us to death and make us watch our loved ones be tortured to death. And this is what the Bolsheviks did in Russia. They've done great atrocities lots of places. That one is the one that I want to continue to remind people of because of. I mean, they poisoned wells. You know, that's a conspiracy theory, really, because why? If you don't believe their worldview, you are marked for death, and if they will assassinate your character, they will strip you of your freedom, and they will also murder you, depending on the circumstances that work out best for them. One of the three, two of the three, or maybe all three of the three.
All that in a moment and much more. This is The Ben Shapiro Show.
Oh yeah, red, like communism. Isn't that something?
Because the truth is still the truth, and reality...
Yeah, funny you'd say that.
Still reality. And sin always has...
This guy is the virtuous one.
Always will have consequences. Engaging in sin is like jumping off a 100-story building. The first 99...
So why are all the Jews not splattered to the ground there by now?
9 stories, super fun. And then that last story, your face meets the concrete. Well, yesterday, pornographer, grifter, alleged rapist, and admitted pimp Andrew Tate and his idiot brother Tristan were arrested in Miami for extradition to the UK.
Sounds like you're a little jealous, and I bet you have a little crooked dick. Do you have any children?
Their faces finally hit the concrete. So, who are the
faces finally? Do you by him framing this like this without any, like, this should be criminal. This should be criminal to say this shit simply based on accusations and that just should just tell you exactly who is behind the accusation in the first place. His fucking fake tribe. His little cult members. Little penis suckers. Those guys. Baby penis suckers are behind this. And he's telling you it simply based on, like, why would, okay, he's talking about sinning, but he has zero regard for the Bill of Rights and your rights as a human being, as an individual. Your God-given, unalienable, not inalienable, unalienable rights. These are just written down for, the reason why they're written down in the first place is for fuckheads like this, because it should be self-evident. And if you don't fight for these things, you don't have them. You only have as many freedoms and rights as you're willing to fight for and kill for. It really is. I know it's sad, but it's the truth. You have to claim every right that you have. Personally. And yeah, we're done with this for now, but it's really disturbing that this guy walks around saying things like this and isn't, like, hit with a lightning bolt of some sort. Boy, that would really be a shame. I would really hate that to happen. You might get a free ice cream cone at Baskin Robbins or something. Guys, please. Please. See a song. Think. Thank you very much, Edward Snowman. And so, wait, yep. For producing the Ballbusters broadcast, keep up the good work. You're the producer, my friend. You're the one that's consistently helping this show go on. And then there was Jalen Swimmers and First Fire. But it's Edward, every single. It's like, you're the man, bro. Thank you so much. 33. We got the 33. That's funny. First Fire, all the new cars. I think we read this earlier, but maybe I looked at these after the show. So it says, all the new cars spy on you. I have a 2025 CRV, and it has so much tech, and it's insane. Right. And it also makes it so much more expensive and kind of convoluted and crazy to work on. Now, older cars were simple, and they were aesthetically appealing. They were built out of better material. They just looked nicer. They felt nicer. Oh, no AC. You can retro. Well, not. I don't know if it's considered retrofitting, but you can make it not horrible for driving around in the desert. And this is like the best place to have a classic car because there's no, like, salt and erosion happening in the. It's. I mean, it could do other things to the paint job and maybe rot out your interior faster because of the heat and the sun and all that. But as far as, like, rusting out, it's less likely to happen. So you get a lot of nicer vehicles from the time when cars mattered and were nice and weren't full of spying devices. Yeah, out here in the, New Mexico, Nevada. No, California is already starting to get too humid, or like too much moisture, but definitely in Arizona. Good times. All right, so buy me a coffee right there. Also, if you see here, you see the buy me coffee there. There's the Wisdom Fitness AZ. Go ahead and follow that. Yeah, my website here. Boom. And Dr. Glidden's membership site. The code you can use Ballbusters or Fitwit for 25% off. Dr. Monzo's book, Healing Hands. I've got it right here. Bam. Awesome stuff. I've used it effectively. I usually talk to Dr. Monzo. He says, this page, that page, and the other thing. And I I apply it and I do it in conjunction with things I get from doctor, like as far as advice from Dr. Glidden. And these are my two guys. I don't need freaking my VA insurance. You think I want that? I want to go to fucking ER again? Oh, we're gonna pump you with radiation. We're gonna do this and that. We're gonna put you the radioactive dye in you. Like fuck. For what purpose? So Foodstar is the 6% off coupon, but Paratus is 15% off. Use it. Use it. Get some sauce. Dr. Glidden's membership site, and your 90 essential nutrients is where you should be focusing your attention. If you have only this much, use it on yourself, but use code BB5. Then everybody's happy. The Whole Food Multivitamin does have some trace minerals in it. Whole Food Multivitamin. I'm telling you how to get your 90 essentials right now. So Whole Food Multivitamin, the Alaskan cod liver oil right there. Every time I'm on here, it moves again. The Fulvic-Humic blend right here, super important. This is about 100-day supply, so 3 months and 10 days at the 1/8 teaspoon. And then IP6 Supreme with inositol. I like the powder myself. Not the caps, I like the powder. Lasts for quite a long time, and it's 10% off now. So that means from the other site, the normal price on the other site would be 20% higher than it is here. And then Edward. Really, Edward, you're the man. Holy shit. And then the, what do you call it? Lost my train of thought. You're going to get 5% more off with the BB5 code. And then, where are you going to go? You're going to go to Core Copper. Highly recommend that. And I'm going to get some pure collagen and Core Copper next time I get a chance to do that stuff. And let me just go back to here and say, hold on. You are an amazing human being, Edward. I'm glad we are friends. And everybody should be thankful to Edward, because if it wasn't for Edward, I wouldn't be able to do this anymore. I would have had to stop a long time ago. So I think everybody should help take the burden off Edward for being the one and only. He's not always the one and only, but you know, that's all I'm saying. He's should be respected and valued by the community here that shows up for these shows on a regular basis. Because the reason why there's a place to congregate in the first place is because of Edward. Otherwise, I'd have to be running around like a chicken with my head cut off, which I am still. But thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And again, the 90 essential nutrients, without them, you're going to never know the difference. With them, and with time, getting your reserves built up, you still it might be so gradual, like everything else with life, that you don't notice it. But when your cravings are curbed because your body's getting the nutrients that it needs, when your impulses are calmer, when your overall state of being is more peaceful, and you feel healthy and you're not getting ill, then you're gonna like, oh, it's all the things that you should be that are happening now, or or the lack of activity and the negative, and then the pure collagen and the core copper. I'm telling you, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to get more youthful, if you will. It's kind of a thing now. Kind of a thing for me, just to attempt it. Spicy honey is so good. I might have to steal a bottle when I get done with life. Oh no, I can't. I'm going keto after that. Fuck. All right, well, yeah, never mind. After 3 days, I'm like, yeah, I can. Oh, right. So right now, I'm kind of twitching, but like I want something. But yeah, it's just 2 more days, all right? So by Thursday morning, I'll probably have a can of tuna, I guess. I don't know, or some eggs. Thursday seems like it's very far away right now. But I made it this far. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Holy crap. You guys are up late. So I'm sure your guys aren't on the West Coast. And I thank you all. You guys are awesome. I hope you guys like the new look of the show. I think it's funny. And I think it's hilarious. And if you guys weren't here for the beginning of it, let me play it right now. And again, Edward, thank you. Thank you very much. Let me go back over here real quick. Obviously, it's the Eskimo, says Karen. Kronos time and inevitable corruption of all social structures by Satanists within centuries. Couldn't agree more. And that is very open, you know? Right. Even the whole idea of reset. It's like, okay, well, here's the hourglass of Kronos. And things get inverted. Oh, look, upside down. You know? It's just funny how that works out. Turf Jockey, I've had my eye on the Eskimos for years. Exactly. I was playing this as cold-blooded, icy hands. At least we will be in good company while we are in the gulags. Yeah, all right. Dr. Monzo's book is phenomenal, says Karen. Oh, shucks. And then Karen says, that was Karen. Help N-word help support the show, you losers. Yes. Youths. Now, let's go ahead and... Is there anything else fun I can play here? Let's see. I'll have to be on my other scene,
The
though.
ancient art of ball blasting, widely accepted by archaeologists as the first discipline of martial arts, its roots trace back to the genesis of our species and to the very beginning of time itself, and it is still practiced to this day by Shaolin monks and those that just want to smash their nuts with 2x4s. Bruce Lee famously once said, "Fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks one time. Fear the man that has clobbered his wiener 10,000 times." Here you can see one of the many connoisseurs of titanium testicle training preparing what's known in the business as Thomas the Testicle Tank Torpedo. It was invented by Alexander Graham Bell during the early 1900s with the sole purpose of strengthening a male's bag of man mangoes. I know many of you are thinking of making a Duke Nukem Balls of Steel joke, but save it. These men have heard it 100 times. There's no trick photography here, no smoke and mirrors. This is real shit. He is actually getting his penis titties clobbered right now by this fucking medieval contraption. Modern science can't explain how they're able to pull off this superhuman feat, so your guess is as good as any. Maybe they suck their nuts up to their nipples to avoid the impact. Maybe they inject their testicles with iron. Or maybe Facebook soccer mom Ruth Pattyvases is onto something when she says aliens replaced their original testicles with stronger testicles. No one knows for sure. All I can say is that this is what I imagine Comcast's employees do daily. Regardless of the explanation, the fact remains that this discipline of martial arts will make you go nuts. That's another joke I'm sure these martial artists have heard before. I'm sure they're used to having their balls busted.
Yeah, my nose started bleeding. All right. Anyway, guys, good night. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Oops.